BMT. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups.
These bitches got me fucked up, man. Baby mama tell her tomorrow she needs some money. Man, you better go to Walmart.
Walmart is always hiring. 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 Wonder holler broke, bitch, you get some child support. Section 8 Obamacare, your ass better sell some dope. I ain't here to save your hope, I'm telling you in the dope. Better save your lean card or a twerking liquor store. Better shake it for Hafeez, better shake it for Mr. Chan. Better shake it for Tyrone, bitch, I don't give a damn. Matter of fact, only fans gon' find your ass a stam. Who was shopping suckers? Bitch, I'm not your fucking man. It's not my fault you got 5 baby daddies with 4 fucking kids and no else to fucking live. Not my problem, better get your ass a job. Go to sleep in trailer parks, better go to fucking Walmart. Walmart is always hiring. 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 Walmart is always hiring.
Off the liquor, but I hit it. Yeah, I'm sipping on some Henny, going in, all 6. Hey, let me get some Remy. I'ma have my dick in there before it even hit me. If you think I'm about to drop a dime, how you know you tripping? For me the pussy free. For your man, you charge a fee. I'ma get up in the guts and you gon' try to have my seeds, and I'ma be a deadbeat. I ain't tell you had that kid. You know I was about to nut, but you kept on riding dick. When it comes to being freaky, bitch, you an all-star, but you always broke. Better holler at Walmart, so you better take direction. Oh, bitch, take this lesson. Now get up on your knees. I don't wanna hear no questions.
Walmart is always hiring. 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 Walmart is always hiring.
You go fuck yourself, convict!
Baby mama terrorist. BMT. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups.
Riding around trying to play the Romans, innocent with an evil soul. In public wearing fake halos, behind closed doors she rocked them horns. I moved on, she wanna teach me a lesson. Can't see my kids, man, I'm stressing. Couldn't see my son to give me his present. She got married to teach me a lesson. Telling people she did nothing wrong, knowing that well since I moved on. Thought that money would keep me home. Hell no, bitch, I'm gone. I don't know what you lost your mind. Try to say my name, but I know your kind. Saying I'm a deadbeat, bitch, you lying. Fighting in court, man, I'm trying to be a father to my kids. She focus on the wrong shit, worried about another being instead of us co-parenting. Put my kids in grown folks' business, telling them lies, bitch, you wicked. Split personality, oh yeah, you twisted. Never thought I'd go through this.
It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups.
You go fuck yourself, convict!
Ooh, no. Bitch, you fucked up a good man. Stop the cap. Bragging about you having a man, but you know you're lonely. Stop the cap. Saying that you got all the dough, but baby, you have no money. Stop the cap. Saying that your hair on your head is real, but you know it's not. Wearing some mop that you got from the good old pawn shop. Run around saying baby daddy left, but you know it's not true. You don't do to live off the government, that's what you choose. You fucked up with a good man, you rather be ran through. You know you made a big mistake, leaving here for Section 8. Even though you're living off government daddy, making them your children new pappy. Claiming you're so strong and independent, you was just like them baby mama terrorist women. Fuck out of here. Even though you're living off government daddy, making them your children new pappy. Claiming you're so strong and independent, you was just like them baby mama terrorist women. Fuck out of here. One more time, come on. Even though you're living off government daddy, making them your children new pappy. Claiming you're so strong and independent, you was just like them baby mama terrorist women. Fuck out of here.
All stand, please. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. This honorable court now stands adjourned, sine die. God save the state and this honorable court.
Yeah. Man, what's going on, Couch Gang? Shout out to y'all, man. I hope y'all doing good today. Y'all know what I do. Just sit on the couch all day and just do nothing. You know, but one thing I'm here to do is speak truth. We're going to definitely watch some shit. We're going to be entertained, get a laugh on, and we definitely going to call shit out. So y'all already know what time it is. Y'all already know what to do. Shit. You may be sitting in this motherfucker. Shout out to the baby mama Terry's Bounty Hunters. I'm your host, Mr. Palmer. Today we're going to talk about a situation that happened last week, some days ago, where Coach Greg Adams and Hafeez had a heated debate, I guess you want to call it. And they was on Valuetainment. Shout out to Adam. And it was a very interesting topic. Is marriage worth it? And I want y'all to hear the perspectives of Coach Greg Adams and Hafeez. Now, the woman that was on there, she said she was married for 20, she's been married for 22 years. Her and her husband do OnlyFans together and shit like that. I ain't got no problem with it. Y'all husband and wife, y'all do it together. I didn't want to talk about her, you know what I'm saying? Because of course, a lot of things she gonna say, you know, I don't see why men don't have a voice or didn't have a voice in the 70 years. She also is gonna talk about what she say, why we have to be so robotic when it comes to prenups and stuff like that. Of course, you're gonna say that because you know you got the power to opt out at any time you feel like it, good or bad. So I ain't really put her in, you know what I'm saying? So I just chopped up really about, you know, them two talking. Now, like I say, what I told y'all a couple of days ago, I don't know too much about the roommates. I heard of roommates. I heard hearing more about roommates when Hafeez got married, and you know he said he didn't do a prenup. So, in my opinion, if you want to get married, get a prenup. Now, if you choose not to have a prenup because you feel that God's gonna protect you, you feel that it's faith, you feel that you did it differently, and you got you a woman who got morals and whatever the fuck, that's you. But everybody's entitled to opinion, and my opinion is get a prenup, whether if you got a lot of money or you don't have a lot of money. So I want y'all to see this video because to me, it wasn't like that before. I told y'all this before. You got some dudes that come on here, man. They talk red pill, they talk alpha male, they talk, you know, free agent, they talk all these different things, and don't worry about these women and all this stuff. But then all of a sudden, you know, when they decide to do some shit that they say they'll never do, then all of a sudden they want to say that red pill is toxic masculinity in it. It's hateful. And you know, all you teaching is the negative. Talk about the positive. You know, so we're gonna talk about that. You know, yeah, he did a marriage contract similar to a prenup, but I want people to understand that a prenup is a marriage contract. If you look up the meaning of a prenup, it's a marriage contract. But see, it's a difference. It's a difference. It's a difference. But a prenup is a marriage contract. It's still a contract. So that's why I don't see what's the big deal if somebody say, hey, get you a contract, which is a prenup, or if you just say, hey, I'm gonna do a marriage contract. But I'm gonna let y'all see what his definition and why he chose the marriage contract and the difference and everything else. Everybody's over here, please hit the like button. You know, that's one thing that is free. And for those new in here, I'm Mr. Palmer. I'm from Chicago. I talk about men's rights, fathers' rights. When it comes to unjust system, it's gender bias amongst men. 85% of women get custody by children. This unjust system makes $60 billion a year. They do it. They only do it because they want to make their capital gain off of a man's pain. Black, white, blue, or green does not matter. You go in that courtroom, whether you're a baby daddy or if you're an ex-husband, they will treat you mostly all the same. Every other weekend, child support, and if you're married, you're going to get alimony included or spouse support. And this system is designed to separate families and destroy houses, destroy households, and also let you know that these baby mama terrorists also destroys family and destroys children and destroys households. So that's what I talk about. This shirt I got on, baby mama terrorists. I'm not against marriage, but at the same time, I tell y'all that if you want to get married, make sure you have your ducks in order. Make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure you want a high up or high level value, whatever you want to call it. And you know what I'm saying, make sure you get with somebody. In my opinion, I say, shit, get you a surrogate. Don't even worry about all that. And if you still say you want to get a wife, get somebody from another country and keep them over there and do it over there. Because this Western civilization is fucked up and it's not going to change.
So all I want to do is teach men to know things that's going on. It ain't never gonna change, and see it for what it is, because a lot of us did not know to after the fact on how the system really was. They don't give a fuck if you involved your children. They don't give a fuck if you did it the right way. They don't give a fuck if you was involved. They don't even give a fuck if you stayed in the same house. They'll still put you on child support. They don't care. This system is designed to separate family and destroy family. But at the same time, these baby mama terrorists who go to these family courthouses, they made that choice. The government did not put a gun to their head and say, hey, put them on child support or else. No, they made an executive decision to go ahead and separate families and destroy the father and child relationship. This is why a lot of our boys are who they are today. Emotional. They're reactors. They betas. They're not leads. They don't know how to lead. They act like their mama, who's a piece of shit ass baby mama terrorist, and so on. I want you to understand that when it comes to this unjust system, it's designed. It's not rigged. It's designed. So what I also tell y'all, you do what you have to do as a man, whether it's living free and lifestyle, you want to be red pill, alpha male, whatever you need to do to make yourself better as a man. MGTOW, if you saying, hey man, get your passport and go overseas and start over there, whatever make you better as a man and have peace. You know what I mean? Because a lot of men who are committing suicide, 20,000 a year, because of alienation and because of failed divorce and shit, child support. So I am controversial. People get mad at me, hate me, say my mama black. They say I'm a dumb nigga off College Grove. They say I sleep on the couch every day. But at the same time, these whores and these sympathy forces won't ever prove me wrong. So we definitely gonna talk about this situation, because a lot of people don't see what goes on in this fucking United States of America when it comes to this unjust system, when it comes to men. Women will always have a fallback nigga. And what I mean by that, they will have something to fall back on. They got a shelter before they get homeless. We don't have a shelter. We got the streets. We got the gutter. We got the train tracks. The only way we get us a place to stay and some type of shelter, we go to jail. So it's a difference. But when you talk about this, they want to come with the victimhood and say,
how dare you do this to me? How do you live with yourself?
See, we male chauvinists. We all of a sudden we male supremacists. We hate women and all that shit. No, we just trying to teach the future not to go through the same shit that a lot of us went through. And for those who ain't going through this and never go through this, you need to know this too, to keep you aware on why you continue to do what you do. Free agent lifestyle, or go your own way, or hey, I just go overseas. Hey, I want to deal with nobody. It's up to you. But it's very important to talk about this shit, because a lot of people want you to be quiet. Don't say a thing. They want you to say, yes, boss, or whatever you say, and believe all women and all that shit. That's the biggest crap they ever told you. So let me let Denzel speak for Malcolm X, and then we'll get this thing started.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
So yeah, man, I appreciate y'all tuning in, and I appreciate y'all, checking me out for the first time. Shout out to the coach, man. I've been knowing coach for the last I've been knowing coach for like going on 3 years. I met coach on Instagram when my fuck child support on Facebook took off, because that's where I started from. I did a Facebook and an Instagram. I didn't have a YouTube at the time. And when I got Instagram, he followed me. And I was talking about fuck child support. And I got to know him from there. And then I started following him. And I saw how he definitely went over the stars. Then I come on YouTube and I see him. I didn't know he had a YouTube. And the coach been doing this thing, man. So shout out to the coach. And shout out to the coach gang in this motherfucker. Yeah. I was on coach. I was on his YouTube channel back in 2021, January 1st, New Year's Day. I was over there. So y'all can check that out. When coach get time, bitch, he'll be over here. We talk behind the scenes often, talk about different things and everything. And like I say, coach teaches y'all the free agent lifestyle, and hey, he let you know this can happen to you. Just like I tell you, this can happen to you. I'm not here to tell you don't have no kids. I ain't here to tell you don't get married. I'm here to tell you that this is what you need to know, and this could happen to you. Maybe you'll say, well, I'll wait a little longer. Maybe you'll say, well, maybe I'll just go somewhere else and do it. Maybe you'll say, hey, Let me value myself and get myself in order before I think about these things. Again, a lot of our futures are destroyed because of this unjust system, these baby mama terrorists. Now, people can sit back and say, oh, that ain't the reason, but it is a reason. I am for family. I am for marriage. But the problem is, how can I tell y'all, hey, y'all should get married if every time we look around, somebody's getting divorced, no fault divorce, and they got to pay $30,000 in child support, $2,000 a month in child support. They can't see their kids like they want to. The bitch able to take the kid and go move out of the country. You go to the judge asks you, did you pay your child support? So it's like, shit, what the fuck can I really say?
Well, I want everybody.
So, but yeah, shout out to everybody that's married. Shout out to everybody that don't have them problems. Shout out to everybody who got a woman they get along with, even though y'all not together. But we talking about what really going on and what's really been going on for a very long time. Mark say take religion out of it. Yes, I agree. When it comes to this unjust system, when it comes to equality, when it comes to this bias system, yes, take religion out of it. And I want y'all to check that out because Coach said ain't no God in marriage. And Hafeez went ballistic. He got emotional. He was a reactor. He didn't get it. So, and I'm gonna talk about that. So yeah, let's get this thing started. This is fair use. Again, that's Adam. The video came from Valuetainment Money. Subscribe to his channel. He got another channel called Valuetainment. He got over 1 million subscribers. On the channel that he interviewed Hafeez and Coach, he got over 80,000. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I ain't never heard of him until I saw this video between Hafeez and Coach. So you just never know who I mean, y'all probably know who he was. You just never know who out here that's definitely got a huge following and moving highly on a high level, man. So shout out to Adam. Because I see you talk about how to, businesses, how to make money, how to invest and other things. Shout out to him. And matter of fact, I was looking at one of his videos yesterday. It was somebody talking about get a prenup and why to get a prenup. Don't go out there with your head down, running your head through the wall, through the door. So even Adam agreed with this. So I was really shocked to see that Hafeez say, no. So I was really shocked. But then again, I'm not surprised at these niggas no more. You see how they flipped the script in the Black Manosphere, so ain't nothing new. Yeah. So yeah, let's get this thing started. Like I said, I chopped, much as I could because I want to try to hear everybody else. And again, this is for educational purposes. This is for reacting. It's also for news variety and talk shit and call out the fuckery and speak the truth. Let's get this thing started, man.
Well, I want everybody to understand. I'm going to look into this camera right here, so I hope you see me very well here. I want everybody to understand and remember that everything I say from this point, she backed it up, all right? So it's basically zero, all right? You have no hope, no chance past the 20 years, and that comes from experience. It also is the experience.
You have no chance of passing 20 years, you're saying?
No. You can pass 20 years. You'll probably be roommates, and you'll probably be overweight in a busted Pillsbury biscuit can, or you'll probably be with the exception to the rule. But the data shows us, plus the experience that she expressed, that it's a very difficult thing. And this is what I want men to know.
Yeah,
it is very difficult. Many people will simplify it for you. They will say, oh, just do this and do that. And they will lead you on a wild goose chase. And that's my perspective. That's all that I offer. I tell men to not get married, especially when you don't have leverage. However, I also tell you, do not listen to people who simplify this. This is a very complicated thing that most people fail at miserably.
Got it.
And this is what I want people to understand.
Let me tee up Hafeez because you used a few things there about not getting married. You said sometimes
you don't have leverage.
Okay, if you don't have leverage, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
And you talk about turning into roommates. Well, this guy is the roommate, the host of the Roommate channel.
Right.
When you're hearing this, you've been married 1 year. And by the way, this guy's a sharp, informed, very intentional guy. My assumption is he didn't just trip and fall into marriage.
He's seen myself before.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So you've been very, you're a calculated dude. 100%. Okay. So when you're hearing Greg say this, and even when you're hearing Ali say this, how are you processing this information?
No, this is really good, and I'm excited about how this conversation can develop because I think you've maybe. Did you react to me and AMS's conversation a couple of years ago about marriage?
I didn't react to it. I didn't do a reaction video. Okay. But I made a comment about it.
Okay, you made a comment about it. Okay, so to me, I'm really excited about it, but it's also key to talk about experience. Experience shapes your view. right?
Yeah.
So a girl who's been abused by a lot of different men, she's going to have a very cynical leaning view towards men. A man who's been cheated by business partners will have a very cynical view about having potential business partners. So it's also unique to talk about we have to be honest.
Yeah.
Nobody here is 100% objective. That's one of my arguments always with red pill stuff. They say they're speaking the truth. You're not a robot. You know, you have your biases, right? Call it for what it is. We all have our biases. I have biases. You have biases. Coach has biases. As much as we think we have to be 100% honest to the people about our biases. If I'm an individual and I was divorced and I had a difficult experience via marriage, I'm going to have a biased opinion via marriage. Allie has a positive experience with marriage. So she can have a bias towards, well, great marriages can work, right? So similar to me, the people I admire the most, the people I look up to are married people. Patrick Bet-David, Jordan Peterson, my father, Pastor Mark Driscoll, people who I look up to the most, right? Long-term marriages, the people that I celebrate a lot. Long-term marriages. My father and mother have been married for over 30 years. Great, healthy marriage. So that's my opinion. My pastor, Pastor Heidi Lewis, been married over 25 years. So that's my worldview.
So he say that we all have some type of bias. I agree with that. We all have some type of bias because one of these baby mama Teds want to come out and say, yeah, he raped me, he beat me. I'm not falling for that shit. I'm gonna find out first, get my information intact. I'm not gonna jump to your rescue and all that shit. But that's not even a bias. It's just I'm not gonna just jump and believe what you say, because that nonsense, quote unquote, believe all women is a goddamn lie. But here's the thing. I want y'all to understand that he said that his, everybody that he love, everybody that he's been around, the people he worship and he follow, they all been married for over 20, 30 years. Nothing wrong with that. If you've been around, your parents married for over 30 years or 25 years, God bless you. God bless you. Now, let me tell you about my parents. My parents been married for 42 years. My parents was married for 42 years till my dad passed away. They was married for 42 years. I have uncles and aunties that's been married for over 60 years. That's still living. Over 40 years. Over 50 years. This 25 and 30 years, that ain't shit. I have family that's been married for all them years. But at the same time, my uncles and aunties. Now, not all my uncles. I have a few uncles that have been married like 4 times, which I wouldn't do that shit. One of my uncles been married 3 times. One of my other uncles been married like 4 times. And then, I have other uncles that's been married 1 time and they still married. So, but here's the thing. Even my uncles told me, because my uncles are like, my oldest uncle is in his 80s, get around real good. Most of my family, my dad's side, live a long, long, long time. And even my uncles tell me they in their 70s, 60s, and 80s, and they tell me what it was before ain't what it is today. You have to be careful with this new generation, this new age. This system is bad. See, back then when they got separated, they didn't deal with no child support. They didn't deal with no child support. Even when child support was already there, they didn't deal with child support. The wife knew that it was important to have a father involved, and taking him away wasn't going to be a good benefit, because he's a good father. He's a good man. He might not have been a good husband, but he was a good father, and he'll take care of his business. Didn't need a course. But in this day and age, and like I say, my dad, even he said it. You seen one hoe, you seen them all. He remember 42 years. And even he told me, you got to watch out for these motherfuckers and how things are changing and getting worse, and how women of today will set you up for failure. So this is from men who've been married for a long time, but they see how things change. They see how the laws have changed. They see how United States is when it comes to men and women. So, like I say, you've been around your parents who've been married for 30 years. I've been around my parents married for 42 years. But at the same time, my daddy taught me that, what it was then, what it is now. You got to be careful in this day and age. Now I know a lot of y'all can attest to that. Some of y'all probably have family that's been married for a long time, shit like that. And even they told y'all, especially your daddy. I don't know about the mom, but the dad, hey, don't fall for these hoes. These hoes set you up for failure, and you get with the wrong one, blah, 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 blah. So, I mean, yes. So, like I say, I am around family who's been married for 40, 50, 60 years. But at the same time, my scenario, it wasn't like that, And you could do shit the right way and it can go left. You could do shit the right way, pick the right way, be on a certain level, and it still go left. There's a lot of factors to why it is. 1, government daddy. 2, this feminist ideology. 3, the gender bias when it comes to men and shit. But understand that what it was in the past ain't what it is today. Shout out to my man, for the $2 donation. He said Hafeez is too blue pill to handle the truth. Yeah, I get that. I get that. But it is what it is. He had that right. The only problem I have with the shame tactic, the body language, and all of a sudden you trying to slick throw somebody on the bus and slick downplay what a person say. That's what I have a problem with. That's what I had a problem with. That's usually what these baby mama tears do. But we're gonna continue that. Shout out to D-Mac the trucker for the $5 donation. Said my parents were married for 38 years until my mom passed in 2020. Shout out, sorry for your loss, brother. You think I want to get married? He said, shit. Shout out to you, my brother. He said, shit. Let me let Clay Davis say it. He said it better. He said, shit. I don't know what you saw at the crib, but you say shit. Fuck that. And that's another thing. Back in the day, men didn't just up and leave that quick. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the black community, they just up and leave that quick. So it's a difference. People opt out of a marriage just like that, man, just because of an argument, especially these baby mama tears. But let's continue. He said, shit.
And so to me, hearing what he's sharing, there is truth in that. Everything what everyone's going to share is going to be truth in it. Yes, if you like, my dad told me a very powerful point. I love my father. He's such a wise older man. He said the most important decision you'll ever make in your life is the one you marry. Yeah. And it can go one of two ways. And this is what I want the guys to understand. We're not teaching naivete, which is, oh, marriage is this perfect thing, and you just meet the one and live happily ever after, and there's no issues, there's no divorces. Right. We're not teaching naivete. Marriage can be the worst thing in your life. It can be an absolute living hell. And I guarantee you can go for days and for days. And you know so many different stories about people with marriage is an absolute living hell. But we don't want to teach being naive about the realities. But also, we don't want to teach nihilism. Right? The other end of the extreme. Marriage is the worst thing possible, and the women are out to get your money, and everyone's miserable, and everybody's roommates, and everybody's this. Because there are some individuals, such as what Alex communicated, who are in happy, healthy long-term marriage, right? So you don't want to be naive, you want to be nihilistic, you want to be as real as possible. Give me the good, the bad, and the ugly. And my biggest thing is that I understand that marriage is a very difficult thing to get right. And the same thing is like, I love how what you do is marriage and money, right? I think we're going to be talking about those two things today. Adam, you're a 1% man financially, right? That means 99% of people are trying to get to where Adam is. Most people live paycheck to paycheck. They're struggling. Yep. Their lives suck when it comes to money. Most people are struggling, but they're trying to get where you are. That's how I view relationships. Most people are in really sucky relationship. Yeah. Most people, it's a day-to-day war, hell, the way work is, the way the gym is. But then there are some people who are having it at the highest of level. The same way nobody says, oh, well, most people are not going to be in the 1%. So screw it. You should even try. It's 90% of businesses end in 10 years. You should even try. We say if somebody's gonna succeed, why not you? Which is why I love what you're doing. If someone's gonna be rich, why not you? If someone's gonna make money, why not you? Someone's gonna have a great podcast, why not you? So for me, I acknowledge that the top of the mountain is rare. I acknowledge that, but what I also acknowledge is that if somebody's gonna win, why not it be you? And how can we help as many men as possible get there? Everybody won't be able to get there, but how many people can we help get there? And that's what to me matters the most.
You fucking income fucking poop.
Here's the thing. Now he say that, and he's right when it comes to trying to start a business. You have a low percentage of you being having a successful business, and shit like that. But I want you to understand when you he said you babbling. When you going to take a risk of quitting your job to start your own business, who is involved with that decision? It's just you. So if a person decide I'm gonna quit my job and start my own business, and he take a loss, that's his loss. If this man decide to, okay, I'm gonna start this podcast and I'm gonna try to be the biggest podcast ever, that is on him. He do the podcast, he do his thing, but it don't go the way he thought it was gonna be. That's on him. Now let's skip on down the yellow brick road to a marriage. When it comes to a marriage, it takes what? Not one, but who? Two. And that man can lose it all, whether if he did it the right way, he's being faithful, he's being a good husband, he's being a good father, but he could still lose his livelihood, he could lose his finances, he could lose his children, not based off the shit he did, the risk he took, but because of somebody else. You can't make this shit up. See, she can say, hey, you know what? We've been married for 10 years. I'm tired of being married. I'm getting the fuck out of here. I want a divorce. No fault divorce. So guess what? You go to the courtroom and say, Judge, I don't want no divorce. We've been married for 10 years. I've been faithful. Guess what?
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
That's what the judge gonna say, because guess what? Divorce gonna be granted. She gonna get sole custody or primary custody, most likely. You gonna get every other weekend. She gonna get your house. She gonna get your finance, at least half of it, because it's been 10 years. And she's gonna get your fucking children. So you're gonna compare one person, whether it's a man or woman, who decide to go ahead and quit their job and start their own business, or say, hey, I'm gonna start this podcast. Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and try to be a Donald Trump. That's just one person. That's your failure. If you fail, that's your gamble. That's on you. But when you're doing a marriage, I want you to understand, if you ain't got no prenups and post-nups, shit like that, you can lose based off what she do. So don't compare no goddamn venturing off to a business or starting your own business or quitting your job or starting a podcast or you want to be an owner operator, shit like that, to a fucking marriage, because it takes two. You and her. Stop it. Stop it. Stop the cap. You made me want to play the fucking video. Stop the cap. But let me let Denzel speak on behalf of Malcolm X.
You've been had.
Come on, man.
You've been took.
Shit.
You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
You can't compare the two. I'm sorry, sir. You cannot compare the two. You cannot compare one man who decided to quit their job and start, try to venture off to his own thing, compared to a husband and wife where the husband can leave and get a divorce. But if the husband stay and want to work it out, she can make the decision to make a divorce, causing divorce. Let's stop that shit. Shout out to Billy the Kid for the $20 donation. He said, salute, Couch Gang. Everybody in the family everybody in my family has been divorced. And all my cousins messed up. My mom asked me why I don't have kids and not married. I'm like, I got you, brother. Shit. I can't see. Here's the thing. I can't get mad at you and fault you. I would like for you to eventually get married and have kids, but you going off what you see. You go off what the people you've been around went through. You going off what you probably learned on the show. You know what I'm saying? On the podcast, on Coach, or whoever else you watch and shit like that. Who am I to tell you, man, you stupid, man. You should get married and have kids before. I mean, nah. I respect that. It's unfortunate because, we should be able to build legacies and leave legacies and shit like that. But these baby mama tears don't want you to leave no legacy. They leave generational curse. Men leave legacies. Baby mama tears leaves generational curse. That's why we still cursing the community today in this plantation. Shout out to you, my brother. It's unfortunate though. Shout out to Dion for the 20. I'm gonna say 20. Shout out to Dion for the $2 donation. He said marriage is a business, but with government controls, it is a business. It is a business. Not saying that you can't be in love with this person, but if you look at all these millionaires that's married to somebody, these politicians married to somebody, it's a business. Why you think Bill Clinton, when he got caught in the shit he got caught up with, he said he didn't have sex with at all and all that shit. He got hit. But his wife ain't leave him. His wife ain't leave him because it was more suitable to stay, more beneficial to stay. The average thought would have said, I'm gone. I'm just going to get child support and a little alimony. No, she said, I'm staying. Vince McMahon, he's a billionaire. Vince McMahon, come to find out, we talked about him when he first got caught with this scandal. Come to find out, he's still married, but they stay in separate houses. She ain't finna divorce him. She'll be a fool. Because if something happened to him, she'll get it all instead of getting divorced and get half. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of these marriages is a business. Not saying you can't be in love with that person, but sometimes you got to let me put it like this. When you're dealing with family court, you go in there trying to be a father. You go in there trying to be there for your children. You want to be able to be there much as you can. But when you're dealing with this court system, you realize this court system makes it as a fucking business and make their child support as a motherfucking bill. But what I like telling y'all that, you shouldn't call it a bill because, you take care of your kids. That's bullshit. Because if you don't pay your child support, guess what? You got to pay interest. It's like a credit card. You got rearage. And when you don't pay it or when you pay a little bit amount, they still tack interest on like a fucking bill, like a credit card. And also, if you don't pay your motherfucking bill, your debt, you going to jail. So yeah, family court is a fucking business, a $60 billion business. Shout out to you, my brother. A $60 billion business. Shout out to Florida man for the 1999. He said, salute, Mr. Palmer and the Couch Gang. I'm currently in LA for work. Shout out to you, man. Los Angeles. I spoke with some homeless men yesterday, and the stories they shared with me are nothing short of eye-opening, and all had one thing common: divorce. Shout out to you, my brother. I wish you would have been able to record it, man, because I'll be happy to talk about that, man. Shout out to you, though. Be safe out there in LA. Shout out to Dwayne Rose for the $2. And they said, damn, going back and forth. CJ on right now, too. LOL. Yeah, go back and forth, man. Shout out to the coach. Yeah, shout out to you, my brother. Shout out to the Daily Bread. That's Mr. Goodbread. He said, shout out to him for the $4.99. He said, brothers, stop disrespecting the father. They won't be scared to get married in the eyes of him. People forget that is marriage too, bro. Couch Gang. Good bread 100. Keep the bangs on ice cold. Shout out to you, brother. Let's continue.
Gotcha.
Preach. I love that.
Now, when you hear something like this, obviously he's sort of saying, all right, I hear you, coach. Your marriage didn't work. You got out, thank God, before the 10-year mark. So you'd probably be a little bit more spiteful than you are. Not saying that you're spiteful, but you'd be even more spiteful if you're paying a ridiculous amount of alimony and everything that you've been paying. But is there anything wrong with that? If he's saying, he's basically saying, I hear you, coach. It ain't easy out there, brother. Like, life's tough. Marriage is tough. Making money is tough. Things are tough. But don't tell me that I shouldn't get married, or don't tell me that I can't have a successful marriage. How do you process that?
I don't think anyone says.
And you know what? Here's the thing. No one is telling you that you won't have a successful marriage. See, that talk right there is a baby mama terrorist talk. Like if you say, men protect your seed, men choose wisely. You have these baby mama terrorists say you hate women. Why you gotta be like that and all that shit? When a lot of us tell you, be careful, we warn you. We tell you this could happen to you if you decide not to go into thinking. You're going out of feelings and emotion and shit like that. I want you to understand that if you get married, it might be good in the first couple of years, but then all of a sudden she do the 360 flip. So And we're going off of what's going on in today's world, especially United States. The no-fault divorces, the custodies of women who get 85% of our children for custody, even the ones that don't even deserve the shit. But that's what it's a warning. It's up to you if you want to get married, but just know what you're getting yourself into. This could happen. Come on, man. Yeah, the bait and switch, man. So no one is saying, now I ain't gonna say ain't no dudes on here saying that. It might be some dude that said, hey, don't get married, fuck all that, whatever. But I never heard Coach say, don't you ever get married. I have heard Coach say, if you're gonna do it, get yourself in order. Make sure you got your money in order, got yourself in order. You on a high level, you know what I'm saying? So then you at least know how to fight it, what to do, and so on. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Shane Vicious for the $2. And they said, leave the hopium alone. Say no to drugs. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to the Tobo for the $1.99. $1.99 say you missed my earlier super chat. My bad, brother. Hold on, let me go back to it. Let me go back to it, my brother. You know what you did? Said something because you was saying you thought the same way too, how Hafeez to you had got broken by a woman. Okay, shout out to October for the $4.99. He said Hafeez remind me of myself until I got my my heart broken by a woman in America. It pained me because I was as very blue pill like him. I wish him good luck. Shout out to you. I hope his marriage lasts forever. I don't want to see nobody go through a divorce, especially the men there, because you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody just do that shit for no temporary fix. But you rolling the dice. I'm rolling the dice. So I mean, I'm just keeping it real with you. You just never know. But had that prenup. Let's continue.
Ridiculous amount of alimony and everything that you've been paying. But is there anything wrong with what he's saying? He's basically saying, I hear you, coach. It ain't easy out there, brother. Like, life's tough. Marriage is tough. Making money is tough. Things are tough. But don't tell me that I shouldn't get married, or don't tell me that I can't have a successful marriage. How do you process that?
I don't think anyone says do not get married. I think they caution people to say do not get married. If I say do not get married without leverage, that is a position, right? That you can change. Thus, if you read my book, it says once you get to that position, you can then make the decision. You'll probably come out better than going in it without it. However, this is what I will always say. When men do find that solution does not work out, they are left alone. There's nobody to help them. So people encourage people, hey, why not? Give it a try. But when you go bankrupt, when you lose your kids, when your kids are taken from you, when the courts kind of punish you for making this decision or punishes you for being a slightly better, higher earner, then nobody's there with information. Nobody's there with context. No one's there to help them. And I believe, not feel, I know, understand, believe, and I have evidence to show that men are left alone when they don't succeed in this endeavor. And that is the void that I feel, because I can tell you, hey, men are alone in this situation. Men are homeless. Men are thinking about eating guns. Men are thinking about they have no way out. Men are losing big time, and we're losing a fraction of men due to manipulation, due to people trying to, they may be hurt. A woman might be hurt in a marriage, or she might feel that she's not being appreciated. And then she throws a grenade in the room.
And yes, I could definitely relate to that because, again, I told you earlier that 20,000 men have committed suicide per year, mostly white males and Indian in the United States that commit the most suicides based off child support and alienation. Thanks to government daddy, family court, and these baby mama tears. Yes, eating a gun, meaning putting it to their mouth and blowing their brains out. And what's unfortunate is when you talk about shit like this, you have some simple force or some baby mama terrorists that will come at you and say, oh, you just hate women. Oh, you just don't want nobody to be happy. You just mad because you had that problem. To fuck? and that's why I be like,
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
And then the nerve what these motherfuckers say, they sit back and say, well, you should have fought hard enough. There's so many fathers that fought for their marriage, fought for the to get equal parent time, or fought to be involved in their children's lives, and the courts aid assist these baby mama terrorists to shut the man down. Even Tyrese just recently said he did not win when it come to court. When he went to court and she got $10,000, that's not a lot of money for what he make. He make multi-millions of dollars. And he only got paid $10,000. That's not bad at all. But he said he still lost. Now I was gonna do something on it because I don't know. Maybe I don't know what the custody arrangement is, but he said he still lost, even though he ain't paying $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month. So evidently to me, if he won on the little $10,000, because compared to him it's a little $10,000, he lost probably when it comes to custody of being around his daughter like he want to be. See, so understand that this same bullshit happens to you men, whether you got money, you don't have money, you're a celebrity, you're not a celebrity, you're a pastor, you're a dude on a block. It does not matter. You white, you black, you blue, you green. It's all one of the same when you go up in that courtroom. But then you got people tell you, well, don't sign a prenup, do a marriage contract. But a prenup is a marriage contract. Understand that. It's a business contract. So I don't know really what the difference is. You sign the contract, you know what I'm saying, whether it's the marriage contract or the prenup, it's still a contract. Because if you really felt that you going in through faith, then you wouldn't sign no fucking contract. So I don't see how one is bad and one is good because you did it that way. Oh, fuck out of here. Shout out to Larry Portis for the $50 donation. He said divorce grape is the number one reason why a lot of men are walking around talking to their shoes. Homelessness and self-deletion because of the unfair court system. Protect your seed, gentlemen. Yes, protect your seed. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I agree. So I understand what you want to hear. Larry want to hear Clifford Burns up in this bitch. And I had no problem with that. It's definitely a Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve, and they're calling my lawyer for 2 payments, telling him there's a warrant going out for his arrest. Where does he live? I got a fucking apartment in the post office box because I don't want people bothering me anymore.
You know what? That's something, bro. I'm telling you, you get to the point where you talking to your shoes. That's how dangerous that this system can destroy you. These baby mama tears could destroy you to the point you would talk to your shoes. And that's what I'm saying, man. Don't tell me that this shit is not a machine to destroy you men. And I'm supposed to tell you, you dumb for not getting married. You dumb because you don't want to build a legacy. How could I build a legacy with a motherfucker that might destroy that motherfucker? I don't give a fuck if you go to church or not. That don't mean shit.
I want everybody to.
That don't mean shit either. That don't mean shit either. But let me check out the Cash App gang up in here. Shout out to Wilfred73 for the $10 cash app. He sent this yesterday. He said Sunday sermon. Salute, Mr. Palmer. Shout out to you, my brother. I want to give a shout out to XL Pro for the $5 cash app. He said Hafeez. He said Hafeez jagged edge now. Shout out to you. Yeah, walk right out of heaven. Let's continue, y'all.
Succeed in this endeavor, and that is the void that I feel, because I can tell you, hey, men are alone in this situation. Men are homeless. Men are thinking about eating guns. Men are thinking about they have no way out. Men are losing big time, and we're losing a fraction of men due to manipulation, due to people trying to, they may be hurt. A woman might be hurt in a marriage, or she might feel that she's not being appreciated, and then she throws a grenade in the room. What happens then? See, that's where I come in. I get to show you what happens when the grenade is there. And I also encourage you, you're not alone in this. A lot of people come to my content and they find out, oh, you too? See, before, as I said, 70 years ago, 40 years ago, 30 years ago, there was nobody presenting this side of the argument.
This side, I see what you're saying.
This right here. Nobody, they just left men alone and they said, well, you must not have been hitting it right.
He's absolutely right. When I came out with the fuck child support on Facebook, and I ended up getting over 140,000 likes and followers I started on Facebook for those that don't know. And I had so many guys tell me I did not know, even on YouTube, I did not know that there was so many brothers, white, black, Asian, Latino, were going through the same situation. I was quiet because I thought I was all by myself. I thought I was alone. When I try to talk to people, they told me I need to pull myself up by my bootstrap. They told me stop bitching, just pay the child support. Yeah, they try to shame me. They went against me because I'm saying I'm being done unjustly for trying to be a father. So yeah, so just imagine if Coach went on here, I went on here, Tommy Sotomayor went on here, and other guys in the game that went on here. A lot of shit you wouldn't really know. And yes, back in the days, you had people like Montel Williams and Donahue. Yeah, you had guys that was doing them damn shows and shit. But them dudes was going along to get along. They was riding the wave. They weren't finna call out feminism. They weren't finna call out men's rights, shit like that. They went along and got along, whatever seemed fit to get their views and get their paycheck. So far as I'm concerned, they was Bill Withers in this motherfucker.
Keep on using me until you use me up.
See, Ricky Lake was able to talk her shit, and everybody saluted that. You know what I'm saying? Oprah Winfrey, another one. Who else? Jenny. What was her name? Jenny, whatever the fuck. She was able to do that shit. You know what I mean? But all these women was able to talk their shit, talk about black men, talk about men. They had a voice. And the men, yeah, Ricky Fake, Maury, you know, all these dudes, they didn't talk about what's going on with men. Yeah, Jenny Jones. They didn't talk about what's going on with men. They was, and the dudes that came in here, the dudes that was having their own show, they was riding with the females. Because there was mostly females there. No different from these preachers that side with these baby mama tales knowing they ain't shit, but they tickle their chins, tell whatever they want to hear. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Arsenio was out, but we talking about like the daytime shows and shit like that. They didn't go against the code. So yes. Now we got a voice. Now social media has opened up the platform for men to speak their piece. Yeah, Geraldo, he was a simp enforcer too. Ellen, yeah. So, because when he talked about that, the woman on there and also Adam was saying, yeah, but you had, you know, Montel Williams, you had Donahue and all that. Yeah, but nah, they went out here talking about men's rights and all that shit. They was rolling around, going along to get them race up with them baby mama tears because they mostly had women. Shedding tears on a motherfucking show and shit, and they get claps and love and all that shit. Fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they didn't deal with social issues like that. But, you know, but let's continue.
Or you must not have loved her right, or you must have abused the kids. That's what she said. She said that you were, and nobody came to this position. So listen, there was a void open, and I ran right.
Yeah. So when you talk about leverage, break down what you mean by leverage. Are you talking about in a marriage before you get married? Are you talking about a prenup? You're talking about a set of rules, guidelines? What's this leverage you're referring to?
Well, a lot of men, a lot of men are looking to be loved, right? So a lot of men, the transaction is always men give, women receive. So in this instance, once men do a lot of giving, they may sacrifice, they may risk things, but they're risking the little things that they have. They don't know what they're going to lose in the future, right? So by that point, they will probably avoid a prenup. They might say, I don't need a prenup. I don't have anything, right? And so he'll get married. He'll build some things. Once the commitment is made and once the investment is made, then he has something. So then when they say, well, you better love her right, you better screw her right, you better appreciate her right. And he says, well, it's still not working. She's not happy. Well, then he knows he can measure how much he's going to lose because he now has leverage, but the leverage is attached to a marital contract. And then at that point, he can say, well, I don't want to lose my 2 or 3 kids. I don't want to lose my house. I don't want to lose my car. He knows then. And also he has no protection. He didn't get a prenup because he didn't have leverage. This is what a lot of young men in their 20s don't understand because they don't know what they're going to lose. They can't measure it. Once you're 40 and you've accumulated things and you have leverage, you have position at a company, and a woman says, hey, I want to marry you. and you will know what you're going to lose. And at that point, you can make a conscious decision whether to engage in a state-funded marital contract.
Yeah.
That's leverage. Most men get married without the leverage.
100% right. He's right. He's telling the truth. He's telling the truth. And you know what? Let my man say it. Let my man say it.
Truth is what it is.
Truth is what it is. You got a better chance. You know what the risk is. You know what you're gonna lose. Yes, definitely. And a lot of our young men do not know. But they starting to learn now, ain't they? Because now I talk to more young men, they like, I ain't thinking about getting married and having kids. I'm focused on me and mine and doing sports or doing IT or doing whatever they feel they want to do. You know what I'm saying? To better themselves first. They ain't even thinking about that, and that's good. They're not even thinking about trying to just fuck any random bitch or shit. Now, it's not enough of. We need more because we got too many simple forces of son husbands that's out here, but it's slowly coming along. You know what I mean? And you have young men starting to realize that they female teachers are feminists and how biased it is even in the college system, even in the high schools and shit like that. You can't make this shit up. Yes. A lot of them are starting to see this shit. Yes. So, yes, it's how you roll. It's how you do things, man. So I don't see what the problem is for us having a prenup, a contract. Because, see, I got one. I'm not going to let you take away my couch. I already had one of my couches repossessed. This ain't going to happen. You're not going to take my couch. You ain't taking shit out of here. Not my couch. You're not going to take my couch. So, yeah, I rebuke you if you try to take my couch. You're not taking my couch. You know what I'm saying? Fuck out of here. Ain't nothing wrong with having a contract. I'm going to save my couch. You ain't taking my shit. So, yeah, you're not getting a goddamn thing. A cell phone, you ain't getting my motherfucking TV. You ain't getting my PS4, my PS5. You ain't getting a goddamn thing. The only thing you're going to get is a ring around the motherfucking tub. Yeah. Shout out to, I think this was Zone. Shout out to my man Zone. Zone said, shout out to Zone for the $5 cash. We said, your mic sounds crispy. Fuck Charles for 100. Shout out to you. Let me tell you what happened. The brother who was on here yesterday that told me there wasn't nothing wrong with my mic, and he told me there was an issue that needed to be set on this Rodecaster Pro. He emailed me and told me what I need to do. It's a thing called ducking. And ducking means before I can speak, it takes like 10 to 15 seconds for you to hear me. You won't hear me for 10 to 15 seconds, called ducking. I guess so while somebody talking and I might be saying something in the background, you won't be able to hear it or it's low. Yeah. So he told me what to do and I pressed it, and you have something called ducking. I pressed the button and I was hoping that it worked. So Zone just confirmed it. So yeah, so I ain't got to buy no other mic. It wasn't a mic, it was the settings on this motherfucker. So shout out to my man Techno. I forgot Techno something, but shout out to Techno. And I even called him to tell him I appreciate it, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know. I'm not technical on the engineering part of this shit. You know what I mean? So yeah, shout out to that brother. Yeah, so it's all because of a one fucking button. It's called ducking. And then when I looked at the shit he gave me, is 10. They say 10 things you don't know about the Rodecaster Pro, and that's one thing I did not know about. And I was on YouTube learning the settings, and I thought I said everything like it should. Now ducking means something with you're able to talk. You know what I'm saying? Don't hear me for 10 seconds before when the video is paused or slowed down and shit. So yeah, we good in that Cows gang. Yeah, let's continue, goddammit.
Did you have a prenup when you got married?
I was married at 28, 27, engaged at 27, 28. So absolutely not.
I did not have one.
Nope.
And if you ever get married again, would you get a prenup?
I would advise
Clearly,
every
yes?
man. I mean, listen, a prenup is somewhat of a protection. It's just something to fight over in court. If there's something to be there, she could just fight it, and now you lost on the money, right? But I did not. I would encourage men to do so if they want to do
Ali,
it.
when you got married, did you have a prenup?
No, and honestly, like just hearing you speak, I feel like you come from a place that obviously had a negative experience with stuff, or you kind of, I guess I can't imagine ever looking into a marriage, like even going into the thought of marriage, maybe because I was so young and I didn't have to, of with so much like guardedness. I feel like going into a marriage and falling in love with someone, there's a little bit of a leap of faith there. And so sometimes when you make it too transactional, I don't know. I feel like for me, it would take a lot away. And
You fucking income fucking poop.
Let me explain something to you. The average woman is gonna say, "I'm gonna go in as a leap of faith." You want to know why she's gonna go in as a leap of faith? Because she has nothing to lose, but she have a lot to gain. Let me let Denzel speak on behalf of Malcolm X for you dumb motherfuckers.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
Let's keep it real, y'all. The majority of women will go in as a leap of faith because they know that they could come in with nothing and come out with every motherfucking thing. Let's stop the cap. Stop it. Of course you're gonna say that. The average woman is gonna say, shit, I ain't got nothing to lose. The only way she'll talk that shit like we talk, if she got more money than that guy, or she's a millionaire and he's just some dude on the couch like me. So let's stop the cap, man. Stop it. Talking about, it's too robotic and shit. It's a leap of faith. Even though her and her husband married for 22 years and they doing OnlyFans together, I ain't got a problem. They married, they doing it together. They got a business making money, right? She can one day say, you know what? I don't want to be married no more. I don't want to be around her. I want to be with somebody else. I'm going to do a no-fault divorce. And guess what? He will get divorced. She will get custody of the kids 9 times out of 10. He will be giving her half of everything. But then again, they've been married 22 years. I mean, half their business they got together, so it should be split in half. But I'm just saying. But, you don't have to go in as a leap of faith. See, that's bullshit. I'm just not happy. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do this no more. He a good guy and all, but I got what I wanted. I've been married for over 20 years. It's time for me to go. Why you think when that no-fault divorce came out, thanks to good old Governor Ronald Reagan, that the divorce rates went sky high? They didn't need that motherfucker no more. They ain't have to stay around if they didn't want to. Come on, man. Let's hear that again. I want you to hear that again, though. That's why I say that's why I understand what she's saying, because yes, she should go in as a leap of faith because she have nothing to lose. I want you to understand that she has nothing to lose, because what they usually do, they usually win it all. Shout out to Dion for the $2 donation. He said paternity fraud is still not illegal. Facts. And it should be illegal. Bitch can have you be a father for 20 years, 30 years, 5 years, 2 years. And guess what? If you're already on child support, you got to still pay it. And if they do find out that she lied or whatever the fuck, she still get rewarded for her bad behavior. How? Because she still get the child support. She don't go to jail. She still get paid off your pain. Stop the cap. Shout out to Beta Male Strategies for the $5 donation. He said, I'll never get married. I don't even want to give up my air fryer. Hashtag Cows Gang. Hey, man, I ain't mad at you. I understand. Shit. Let's hear that again. I want y'all to hear that again.
no, and honestly, like just hearing you speak, I feel like you come from a place that obviously had a negative experience with stuff, or you kind of, I guess I can't imagine ever looking into a marriage, like even going into the thought of marriage, maybe because I was so young and I didn't have to, of with so much like guardedness. I feel like going into a marriage and falling in love with someone, there's a little bit of a leap of faith there. And so sometimes when you make it too transactional, I don't know. I feel like for me, it would take a lot away. And maybe again, because I was so young, we were kids ourselves. We didn't have anything to protect. But I feel like maybe that mindset is what's quite toxic for people that aren't able to find love, is when you constantly live in that, well, she might screw me over, I got to protect this, like how can you ever fully let yourself like go and be submit to just being in love and like letting that guard down? And I think the women have a lot to lose too. It's not just men, you know, obviously.
Right, but we don't speak.
See, but see, here's the thing. A woman have a lot to lose if she got something to bring to the table. She only got something to lose if she brings something to the table. And especially if she bring more than what he brings to the table. Let's keep it real. Yes, you are toxic because you're trying to protect yourself. Yes, shame tactics. That's why I say I didn't really want to put her in the video, but I put that in because I want you to understand that a lot of these women will sit back and tell you that you weak, you a sucker, you stupid, you're dumb, you're beta, you're incel because you don't want to take the leap of faith and get married without doing a prenup or a postnup or any type of contract because, you know, you want to be so robotic. Yeah, it is painful. But I'm not surprised. Don't be surprised. Ain't nothing to be surprised. Why are you really surprised? These are, I mean, not necessarily her, but you got these baby mama terrorists that tell you that when you say, hey, I fought for equal parenting for years and my wife won't give it to me. You know what that bitch say? Instead of her saying that bitch is wrong and say, yeah, it's her fault, you know what she say? You should have picked better. And I want you to understand, y'all, you don't have to have a lot of money or be rich and be successful to say, I want a prenup. I ain't rich. I'm a dead beat off Cottage Grove. I'm a dumb nigga off Cottage Grove and I just lay on the couch every day. But I got one. So it ain't got nothing to do with, oh, you should only do if you got a lot to lose. No, have a prenup. You know what I'm saying? It might be little simple shit. You know, so because to me, I say definitely have a prenup when you want to say, well, if we go through a divorce, we're going to do equal parenting time. It ain't even got to be about money. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have equal parenting time. I will pay you out of my pocket based off what I make now or whatever. You can always update it. You can always update prenup and shit like that. And here's another thing. I want y'all to understand that they say a prenup ain't guaranteed. Ain't nothing guaranteed. Your marriage ain't guaranteed. Your relationship ain't guaranteed. Living another day is not guaranteed. So we know that. But it's better to have it than not have it. And for those that want to know the proper way of having a prenup done, because what you want to do first is find out where you live, your state, your county, whatever. Find out, do they honor these prenups? Find out if they honor it. Find out will you get that shit tossed out just because you go to court and as soon as you say prenup, oh, fuck that shit. Another thing is also is you need to have a lawyer and she need to have a lawyer. Even if you're the man, you say, I'm going to pay for both lawyers to do this. Have two lawyers. Don't have one lawyer. I'm going to tell you why. You have one lawyer. What can happen is, even though she agreed to sign that shit, she going to say that was his lawyer and I was under duress and he made me and the lawyer made me sign the motherfucker. She get a lawyer. You get a lawyer. I say film the motherfucker. Make y'all agreement and go from there, man. You have a better chance. But when you do it by yourselves and get it notarized and shit, you go around and get your lawyer and she still sign off. What's gonna happen is you're gonna say she's gonna play victim.
How dare you do this to me? How do you live with yourself?
The judge's gonna be happy to tear it up because that's more money gonna go into the family court. So of course he's gonna be happy to tear that motherfucker up. So that's what I'm saying. You have to definitely do your due diligence. Shout out to African Cartel for the being a member of the circuit court for 5 months. He said, Mr. Palmer, salute you, my brother. Fist up. Shout out to you, my brother. Shout out to Brandon Sutton for being a new member. That's my brother from Seattle, Washington, man. Shout out to this brother right here. Shout out to this brother right here, man. He's definitely doing this thing out there and living like a king. He kept his veins on ice cold, watched his hands move on, and gone about his fucking business. Salute to you. We had to keep our veins on ice cold. She didn't say, you already know what's the problem. You damn straight. So that's what I'm saying. If you're going to do it, you definitely got to find out what the laws is where you at. Anthony Baker say, shout out to Anthony Baker for the $10 donation. He said, simply don't get married. Hey man, like I told you, I can't get mad at y'all. I understand. And listen to shit like this will make you say, fuck that. I'm not even gonna chance it. I even told y'all I'm married, and I'm like, why chance it? Y'all young. I'm 43 years old. Y'all young, man. Y'all got businesses and shit like that. Y'all been through it the first time. Y'all had a baby mama, y'all was in a long-term relationship, and you like, shit, why bother? It's the same thing. I got fucked over in child support. Why get fucked over in child support again in alimony? Spouse support. I understand. Yeah, so shout out to my man Anthony Baker. I don't know her name, but she's a OnlyFans model. But her and her husband does it. They've been married for 22 years. They got a family. She used to be a nurse. I think she got fired unjust. I don't know what happened, but they shit is successful. They're making money. I can't get mad as a husband or wife. I can't call her a thought hoe because it's her and her husband. I ain't mad at all. Shit. My auto say on these snips. Shout out to y'all. Let's continue, man. But listen to this goofy shit.
Speak from the women's perspective because we're men,
Yes.
but we also have to understand people go homeless over this. People lose their lives over this. This is serious.
Yeah.
It's like saying I joined the military and I was just hoping that I came out of the war not injured, not disabled, not ruined mentally, and then I don't know why you would go over there and think that. Well, this is a battle, and the battles are won and lost in these.
It's not a battle though. I think this is where the
See, that's what I'm talking about. It's a motherfucking battle, goddammit.
You fucking income fucking poop.
It's a fucking battle. Let's stop the bullshit. That is not a battle. It might not be a battle in the east part of the country, but it's a battle when it come over here in the west. It's a fucking battle. Fighting to be a father, fighting to stay married, fighting to keep your legacy, fighting to keep your business, fighting not to get you destroyed, fighting not to get your name stained, fighting for not being accused of being a rapist or sexual assault and all that bullshit, or an abuser. No, it's a motherfucking battle.
Biatch.
No, see that's when this simp ass shit come around, and this baby mama terrorist response shit. See, it's a fucking battle. Everything that we see right now is a fucking battle. When it comes to men and women, when it comes to race, when it comes to class, when it comes to politics, when it comes to status and all that shit, it's a fucking battle. Let's stop the cap there. See, he cut him off and said it's not a battle. It's a fucking battle. You know what I'm saying? Men's rights, it's a fucking battle. Let's stop the bullshit. Nah, bullshit.
Here I come to save the day.
It's a fucking battle. It's a war. Now, war don't necessarily mean motherfucker out there doing drive-bys and shooting with tanks and shit. It's a fucking war. It's a battle. Yes, it is. And it's steady growing. So that right there, I have a problem with. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Tola, I know what you went through. I know a lot of y'all brothers went through, man. He says it's not a battle. It's a fucking battle. And any man, well, I ain't gonna say any man, most men you talk to is gonna tell you it's a fucking battle. Shout out to Dion for the $2 donation. Said they don't call it a custody war for no reason. Let me tell you right there.
Truth is what it is.
It's a battle. It's a battle just to stay on your masculinity frame. It's a battle for you being a heterosexual male. It's a battle. It's a fucking battle. It's a battle in so many different things. It's a battle. But he says not. It's a fucking battle. Even if you spiritual, it's a battle that you want to go down God's path because there's so many evil and temptation and bullshit that's going around you. So understand, that's a fucking battle. So even though he said he a man of faith, it's a battle that he got to go through all these different obstacles to stay on God's road, to stay on God's path. You got negativity, you got evildoers, you got motherfuckers trying to be slick with you and try to get you to cheat or whatever the fuck. I want you to understand that it's a battle. It's a long-going battle. Even in the Bible, I think they tell you it's a battle. So understand, don't fall for that. Oh, well, it's not a battle. Let me let Clay Davis respond to that shit.
Shit.
Fuck out of here. Let's hear that again, though.
People lose their lives over this. This is serious.
Yeah.
It's like saying I joined the military and I was just hoping that I came out of the war not injured, not disabled, not ruined mentally. And then, I don't know why you would go over there and think that. Well, this is a battle.
Well,
and the battles are won and lost in these.
It's not a battle, though. I think this is where the language has to be used correctly. And I think to me, I love the balancing act that's going to happen today, because I think what's going on is that I understand. So there's this idea of Eastern versus Western marriage. Let's just say Greg is on the East, she's on the West. Eastern marriage is all about logic. Does it make sense? Arranged marriages, right? Two families, two worldviews, two ideologies. Doesn't matter how you feel. It matters, does it make the most sense?
They're the most successful, by the way, arranged marriages.
We can talk about that in the future.
Sure. Yeah.
Arranged marriage, believe it or not, if you look it up, arranged marriage or arranged marriages have the least divorces. Yes, that's interesting. The arranged marriages have the least divorces. That's a fact. Shout out to the average bro for the 499. He said that's why I despise these simps. Stop capping. Shout out to you, brother. And to let y'all know, yes, everything's a battle. Everything's a battle. Mark even said it. Everything's a battle. Now, I heard Mark was talking to somebody about common law. Common law is not accepted everywhere in the United States. Illinois, I'm from Illinois, y'all. Illinois used to be a common law marriage state. They stopped it. They don't do common law here no more. So even if you with somebody for over 10 years, they don't honor it no more. But I will say that when I went through my child support case, they treated it as like common law because I was there. We was in the same household for over 10 years, 11 years. So, but they don't do common law here in Illinois. A lot of states stop common law. If you go to fucking Oklahoma, a bitch can get spousal support from you for living in your house for 6 fucking months. So that's nothing y'all gotta be careful for. Just because you're not married, don't mean you can't get set up a failure with spousal support. You cohabitate, shacking, whatever you want to call it. Some states have it where they only got to be there for 3 to 6 months and show proof they live there, and they can get spousal support from your ass. Oklahoma's one of them. I think Tennessee's another. So you have to be careful and know about these laws in the state you live in, because a bitch will stay the night and shit, lying, say she's been there for months, and she'll get a check from your motherfucking ass. Oklahoma is one of the main ones. I'm telling you. Shit. Let's continue.
So Greg comes from that mentality of, if you're gonna get in this agreement, you need to write out the agreement clear as day. What does this entail? What does it get? If you leave, you get this. If you leave without this, you don't get nothing. Like, it's a very systematized business kind of contract, because it's a business contract. Because, and this is why when you were talking about the idea of like when men fail in marriage, they lose everything. That's wrong.
No, I didn't say they lose everything, but they lose an awful lot.
Let's stop. That's still wrong.
Well, see, there we go with that. See, he say it's still wrong, and Coach did not say that you lose everything. You can lose everything, but you lose a lot. You lose a lot. You lose a lot. He say, but it's still wrong. How? Say for instance, you're in a long-term relationship and y'all have a kid or a couple of kids. Y'all go through a breakup. Y'all go to family court. She wants sole custody. She not willing to just say, hey, we don't have to worry about the courts. Let's just come with an agreement and just go there and get it signed. Equal parents or whatever the fuck. You lose. You can lose it all. Think about it. You ain't allowed to be a father. You ain't allowed to be a parent. You ain't allowed to raise your son or your daughter. And if you ain't able to be around your kids, as far as I'm concerned, you did lose it all. You can't make this shit up. So what you mean you don't lose it all? See, people think that when men saying you're going to lose it all is just about a dollar amount. It ain't always about the money. But if you ain't allowed to be a fucking father, be a parent like y'all planned or whatever, then you lose your son. You can't see your son. You can't raise your son. She's fucking up your son. She's destroying your son. She's manipulating your son, turn him to a son husband, shit like that. Understand that that's losing it all. You losing somebody that you want to leave generational wealth, that you want to mold to be better than you. Yes, you lose. You lose a lot. You can lose it all. You know what I'm saying? So he's wrong on that. And then he said, and then coach said, I didn't say all. You lose some. He's talking about you still wrong. Bullshit. Who the fuck? Where the fuck he getting this shit from? That's what I want to know. But let's continue.
Does this entail? What does it get? If you leave, you get this. If you leave without this, you don't get nothing. Like, it's a very systematized business kind of contract, because it's a business contract.
Correct.
Because, and this is why when you were talking about the idea of like when men fail in marriage, they lose everything. That's wrong.
No, I didn't say they lose everything, but they lose an awful lot.
Let's stop. That's still wrong.
Well, why is it wrong?
Because let me tell you why. Because when men lose at anything in life, they lose a lot. You lose your job. Who's gonna come save you? If you screw your friends over, like as a man, that's the name of the game. You lose, you're gonna lose a lot. You fail, you're gonna fail a lot. So I'm not saying that it's.
See, again, he's talking about you lose your job, you lose a lot. It's a different from losing your job, because you know why? You lose your job, you have a high chance of getting another job in your field. If you have some type of license of professional or skill, you can get you another job. I ain't saying it's gonna be the job you want, meaning like you get you another job as a social worker. I'm gonna say social worker. But here's the problem. They'll hire you as a social worker, but you don't get weekends off now. You got to work the night shift. You don't have the day shift. That's the hardest part. You know what I'm saying? Like a truck driver. He on an operator. He can work and drive however he chooses, however he pleases. But then as this pussy ass gas, this diesel went up, a lot of truckers had to go work for companies. So yes, he lost because he don't have his independence. He got to work for somebody else again. And guess what? Now he got to work under his schedule, under his rules. So now he got to work night shift instead of day shift or mid shift that he chooses to do. He got to work on weekends now. He got to drive out there for 3 weeks instead of the 2 weeks he was doing, or 1 week. You know what I'm saying? But he was able to get a job because he's licensed. He got a CDL. He can always get him a job. But it's just the type of job he can get. Again, let's talk about this. You talking about a business that this man, or a job that he lost. You gonna compare a job that he lost to a marriage that failed? See, there's a lot of shit come with this this marriage and shit. Not now, unless you ain't got no kids, you was only married 6 months or a year. You know, you got that, you know, that whatever you call it, non-void or whatever. Even if you married for 5 years, but you ain't got no kids, you good. You good. But when you talking about 20 years, 10 years, and all that shit, you got a business, you got a job, you got you the one take care of the house, she's staying in the house as a housewife and shit like that. You the one that's gonna lose it all to a fucking battle. He says not a battle because he say, what's the difference from losing a fucking job? You lose a job, yeah, you on your ass, but you have a better chance getting another job than getting custody or getting all your assets that you had or that you brought to the table. Let me let Denzel speak for behalf of Malcolm X, man.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
Matter of fact,
what's wrong with y'all niggas? What's wrong with you?
Shout out to Dion for the $2 donation. That losing your family, losing your job is different. It's very different. Shout out to you. That's why I say, how you compare the two? How you compare the two? I can't compare my job to losing my family. No. But let's continue, man. Let's hear this.
Like as a man, that's the name of the game. You lose, you're gonna lose a lot. You fail, you're gonna fail a lot. So I'm not saying that it's wrong, like marriage doesn't count. I'm saying marriage is a part of all the things as a man where you cannot get wrong, which is why I agree with the message that you're giving at times. That's why you got to be 100% serious. You don't go at this naive. You don't go at this because you understand that there is a cost for this decision. So going back to the Eastern thing, but on the West, you have marriage as all feelings. Oh my gosh, we love each other. Oh, we don't, you know what? You make $1 million, I make it 10,000. We're gonna be together for the rest of our lives. Oh, you're this, you're that. Oh, your dad was an alcoholic. We'll never have any problem. Like, it's a very naive model, right? And that's why Western marriages have issues, because it's all feelings. And to me,
he said that Western marriage's problems is because of all feelings. The Western marriage have a problem because how the law is made to destroy husbands, fathers, men. It is designed to benefit the woman, because if it benefits the woman, it benefits government daddy. It's all about money. And the shit he's saying is disingenuous. It don't make no sense. It's not about feelings. It's not about feelings, especially about feelings over abroad, right? It ain't about fucking feelings. It's this system that is designed to destroy men, to aid assist these baby mama to destroy homes, tradition, family, and our children, our future. Come on, man. What the fuck is he talking? What the fuck he talking, man?
But on the West, you have marriage as all feelings. Oh my gosh, we love each other. Oh, we don't, you know what? You make $1 million, I make it 10,000. We're gonna be together for the rest of our lives. Oh, you're this, you're that. Oh, your dad was an alcoholic. We'll never have any problem. Like, it's a very naive model, right? And that's why Western marriages have issues, because it's all feelings. And to me, which is why I love Adam, is about balance. How do we balance these two ideologies? Because to Ali's point, if it's all logic, it's boring. If it's all robotic, there's no passion, there's no excitement, there's no je ne sais quoi. It's just a dry thing that in the modern world, people don't want that, right? But if it's all feelings, there's no structure, there's no protection, there's no wisdom, there's no guidance. So I think it's a marriage of those two ideas to be able to create long-term solutions for long-term success. And that's why I just think sometimes when we come from too much leaning on one direction, either or, it becomes problematic.
I believe he agreed with me, though. I thought he was disagreeing.
Well, I guess I was agreeing. That's how I play. I was like, yeah.
So just to be, I want you to understand that Coach said, so basically you still agree. So you agree, but at the same time you're trying to downplay it. Just like these baby mama tariffs. Yeah, sound right. Sound about right. Sound about right.
Clear. Did you get a prenup when you got married?
No, and I
didn't.
I'll explain to you guys why. So I think, and I talked about this. I love the prenup conversation. I think it's important. There's three reasons why I didn't get a prenup. But the first reason is I actually believe prenups are good and bad. They're good because they protect you. They're bad because they don't protect you enough. What I personally believe is something which I did research about this, called a marriage contract. You may not like this, but please give this to me. How many kids do you have?
3.
So let's say Ali married her man and she said she wanted 3 kids, right? Yeah. She gets married, she wants 3 kids. All of a sudden, prior to marriage, he agreed. She said, honey, I want 3 kids. Is that cool with you? He said, of course, baby, you want 3 kids. We're gonna have 3 kids. She's married. 5 years into it. Hey, when are we having our kid? Next year. When are we having our kid? Next year. It's year 8. He's like, I don't want any kids anymore. Should she stay in that marriage? He agreed, and she both agreed that we were gonna have 3 kids. That's why she married him. When it was time to have kids, he changed his mind. Well, I don't want kids anymore. Should she stay in that marriage? Let's go on the guy's side, because the red pill guys love when guys are being the victim. So you're a man.
So now he's saying he's trying to like kind of throw the red pill on the bus with that statement. I want y'all to hear that again. Y'all tell me, because I'm stupid. I'm dumb to all kinds of grove. I could be, lying and just making something out of nothing. Shout out to Hologram for the $3 donation. He said Hafeez sound naked and afraid. # sassy Negro.
Better milk. Cool.
Shout out to you, Hologram. Let's see, because the way he said that sounds like he's talking shit and trying to, mimic red pill. Yeah, you trying to play victims, red pill.
Next year. When are we having our kid? Next year. It's year 8. He's like, I don't want any kids anymore. Should she stay in that marriage? He agreed, and she both agreed that we were gonna have 3 kids. That's why she married him. When it was time to have kids, he changed his mind. Well, I don't want kids anymore. Should she stay in that marriage? Let's go on the guy's side because the red pill guys love when guys are being the victim. So you're a man, and in your marriage, you agreed that we're gonna have sex, let's say twice a week. That's
an agreement.
I'm just saying
that's a verbal contract.
We're agreeing that we get in
week.
at least twice a week. All of a sudden, she's like, I'm not in the mood anymore. She's like, oh, now I'm on my
that
period.
Won't be all of a sudden. That'd be almost immediate. But go ahead.
Okay, and then months into it, right?
Yeah.
She says, well, I only want to have sex once every 6 months. Should he stay there? You both agreed initially, like, yo, we're gonna do this consistently, and now he's getting it. Should he stay there? So to me, what's very important about the marriage is that before you get into it, both of you guys need to agree upon everything. This is where I think the nuance in the evolution, agree on everything so the woman's protected as well as the man is protected. And so to me, that's what me and my wife did. Before we got married, we talked about everything. Every single scenario, every single thing. Me, I'm not a money guy. I'm not motivated by money. So therefore, the money, like, I'm different. Everyone knows me. I'm not a money guy. So you can have all the money. I have my brain.
Mm-hmm.
I can start from ground zero. I'll build the money back up. I don't mind money. But to me,
ain't no sunshine.
You fucking income fucking poop.
Shout out to the average bro for the $1.99. He said he's not used to dealing with women. I don't know. I don't know. But he says that I'm not tripping about money. I don't give a fuck about money. You can have it all. It's yours, whatever the fuck. I got a brain. I can get that right back. See, people don't understand that prenups and all that shit and the agreements and stuff like that. It's not just about money. It's not just about money. Let me give a shout out to my man Ro for the $20 cash. So we said marriage simply fails the cost/benefit analysis. Shout out to you, my brother. Shout out to my man Rogue Sage, who has no kids. He's not married. He got a career. He got a professional license and doing a damn thing up north. Shout out to you, my brother. And even he understands that you in it for a battle and you could be set up for failure. Stop the cap. He took a shot at the red pills. He's like, the guys want to play victim and shit. Then he also he said he don't give a fuck about losing his money. You can have the money, give away the money, whatever the fuck. If that's what he want to do, if he don't mind just giving away and losing his money, that's fine. Even though I don't give a fuck about money like that, I don't want nobody taking something from me unjustly. Just take my shit that they didn't earn. Fuck that. Fuck that. Shout out to Dion for the $2 donation. He said red pill guys like when the guys are victims. Exactly. That's why I like, I wanted to know, was I hearing things where I've been too naive? Maybe I was running off my emotions. So I want to know what y'all thought. But he said he don't mind and he's not about the money. And again, it's not just about the money. It ain't just about money. Of course, nobody want to lose their money, but it ain't just about money. But, this assumption, this baby mama tears rhetoric and shit like that, I don't entertain. Shout out to my man Abdu for the $2 donation. Said, salute, Mr. Palmer, one of the realest in the game. Appreciate you, my brother. Yeah, let's continue, man.
In regards to losing money, I don't care about losing money. Take whatever you want. If worst case scenario things happen. But by having a marriage agreement, both of you guys understand what's expected of you. And if one person obviously breaks this agreement, both families know. So if she wants a certain amount of kids and I say I don't want it anymore, then her family knows, though, yo, Hafeez, you promised my daughter this, you didn't give it to her, so it makes sense that this marriage is no.
So is that sound like to me, if it's something like that, the way he talking, if he's saying the family knows this contract, that sound like to me, that sound like an arranged marriage. Because if you saying the family know this, the family know that, and the family can step in and say, hey, you did not abide by your contract, then my daughter can opt out. That sounds like an arranged marriage to me. That sounds like an arranged marriage. And if he got an arranged marriage, then most likely he's not going to go through no divorce. Because most arranged marriages don't have a high divorce rate like we do. The common divorce marriage and shit. You know what I mean? But he said he don't care about losing money. And again, it's not just about caring about losing money. You have a lot to lose besides money. You know what I mean? But whatever. He don't care about losing money because I don't care about money like that. Well, I'm gonna be. See, here's the thing, and I tell y'all this all the time. I love money. If I get millions of dollars, I would. But if I got to sell my soul and lose my integrity for it, fuck you. See, a lot of these hoe ass niggas will do that. They have did it. The Black Manosphere, a lot of them motherfuckers did it. You know what I'm saying? So yes, a lot of these motherfuckers will sell out for it. A lot of them will flip the script. They'll do a Houdini and say I ain't red pill no more, and I'm not gonna talk about women no more. Now they want women on their platform like that and shit, and kick the men out and shit like that. Yeah, a lot of them will sell out for money. So, you know, but to me, the way he talking, it seemed like an arranged marriage with his marriage contract. But you telling me that you're gonna have a contract on how much sex I get twice a week, I get sex, or 3 times a week, I gotta negotiate how much sex I'm gonna get. That's some shit right there. That's some shit right there. I gotta negotiate how much sex I get. But my thing is, that's a contract. If that's a marriage contract, which a prenup is a marriage contract, so I don't see what the difference is. You know what I mean? And that's something you should do before you get married, of course. But to me, if you was 100% faith, I ain't saying he's saying faith and hope, but you 100%, you know, have that faith in God and all that stuff, then why have any type of marriage contract, whether it's a prenup, doing it the way he doing it? Why have one at all? Because it's a chance that shit may change down the line. So stop the cap. But in that case, you wouldn't even do a motherfucking contract at all. Whether it's the marriage contract, the prenup, you wouldn't do it at all. You'll just go ahead. I love you. You love me. We get married. We're going to live our lives and hope for the best. So the marriage contract or the prenup, nigga, it's still a business contract. And you doing it because there's a slight chance that one of y'all may change. And most likely it's the woman. One of y'all may change. Let me let Denzel speak for Malcolm X, because I'm a dumb nigga out of Cottage Grove. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
What the fuck's the difference? But y'all ain't seen none yet. JJ Green in the house. What up, bro? Check this out. Because we're going to go back to the past a year ago. We're going to go back to the past a year ago. I'll let you know when.
This we all understand what a prenup is, all right? Like it's signed, lawyer, date, bing, 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 bing. What is a marriage contract?
So
is it a verbal agreement? Is it a written agreement?
It can be.
You're saying that the families know each other.
Yeah,
what is that exactly?
It can be one of 3 things, right? It can be written between you and this individual, which is the least ideal. The second ideal is you can actually get a mediator or a legal arbiter to actually sign this for you. So therefore, like in the worst case scenario, if you go to court, this is now a legal document, right? So this is a legal document that can be able to be proved in court.
Don't that sound like a prenup? The mediator is your lawyer with the prenup, but I say get 2 lawyers. You sign a contract, she signed a contract, you take it to the state. That's still a state contract, ain't it? What the fuck?
Shut your goddamn ass up.
Y'all tell me. It's the same shit, ain't it? You still got the state involved. So what the fuck? It's still a business contract. It's still a slight chance that shit may change. And you like, I'm not finna just go in there with my head down. I'm just saying it, but I'm stupid. But, you know, let's continue.
But, you know, I know a lot of the red pill guys don't like the idea of marriage being controlled by the state. Mm-hmm. And if you look at a lot of traditional Eastern societies, marriage is really agreement between families.
Now, he's right. In the eastern part of the countries, it's negotiated by family. And again, that sounds like a motherfucking arranged marriage. Now, I don't have to be an arranged marriage. Maybe they met each other on their own, everything, and then the family say we're gonna meet each other, family. It could be culture. You know what I mean? And ain't nothing wrong with having that type of way. I think that's much better than this state shit. But in the West, guess what? In order to make your marriage legitimate, you have to pay the state to get a marriage license. And I realized after the fact, to me, you getting a marriage license with the state just mean they got your ass that shit fuck up. That means there's a chance that they get a piece of that alimony, piece of that asset, piece of child support and everything else I didn't realize that till after the fact. You know what I'm saying? So the reason why the screen went black, because we're gonna go back down memory lane, back down memory lane, where the roommates was on the episode with Fresh and Fit. Now, I want you to see what Hafeez said a year ago. It was very interesting because the shit he was talking on there was not the same thing that he's talking now. Yes, he do mention a marriage contract, but he's not talking about the same marriage contract that he's talking now. He's talking about basically a prenup. He's talking about, making sure that you don't get your shit destroyed or taken over or snatched. And then he also said at the end that if she don't like it, hit the bricks. I want you to hear it. But I will say, a lot of this shit he's saying now, he did say in the past. As far as he for marriage, nothing wrong with that. He's for family, nothing wrong with that. He's for fathers being in their children's lives, ain't nothing wrong with that. But I want you to check this out. Check this out.
Yeah, no. So for me, like I said, I come into the space a bit differently, because I definitely believe in marriage personally. Me personally, I will never have my children raised by a baby mom. I will never allow my children to be raised in a woman's house.
Now, he said he'll never have his children to be raised in a woman's house. If you stand in this feminist Western ideology, destroy families and fathers, if you go through this bullshit in family court, 9 times out of 10, that child will be raised in their mother's house. Maybe over in the Eastern countries it ain't like that, but I guess he don't know how it really is up in this motherfucker. But I ain't knocking him, because why would you want your kid to be raised in a single mother household?
I just think that's crazy. I think for people to believe that's the solution for men moving forward, that's impossible. At the end of the day, we need a new generation of men.
100%.
We all are going to have to be fathers, and I hope every single man has the ability to raise his son the way my father was able to raise me. And so, to me, in the current dating market, it's really unfortunate, man. It is terrible. Not just in regards to women, but also for men.
Yeah,
it's the way they've been conditioned, the way they've been made weak, the way that the masculinity is lost. And so for me, Chris, is 100% true. What you teach on your platform, what we teach on our platform, men have to improve themselves.
Yeah,
become
no
the
way
best
around it,
version
bro.
of themselves.
No
Yeah,
way around it.
don't complain. Level up. It is what it is.
Yep.
Now I hear a lot of these alpha males and these high value motherfuckers say, "Don't complain, level up." When guys talk about how the system is unjust, and I ain't saying he's saying about people that's talking about it. It's a difference between complaining and calling the shit out. It's a difference between complaining and telling you like it is. It's a difference between complaining and showing a proof why you should not do these certain things and what to watch out for. I want you to understand that these baby mama tears and these simple force will sit back and say you whining, you complaining, you just hurt and all this shit. You got mama issues because you calling out the truth. It's a difference between whining and crying versus telling the truth and exposing the truth. But it's unfortunate that the shame tactics, they really think that the shame tactics win. But they do with most of these dumb motherfuckers because they go along and get along. They worry about what a nigga say. I'm always like, bitch, fuck all y'all. Damn. But he sounded real good because he say, I'm not gonna have my kids living in the baby mama's house or living in a woman's house. He say he's for marriage. He say also that, this Western country with all the bullshit that goes on. He sounded real good right about now. I said last year, it was all good just a year ago.
And so to me, I just really believe that you got to be wise, especially when you're choosing a woman. And the reality of the matter is that I know so many guys are afraid of women leaving them. And that's what I think a lot of guys are afraid of.
Even that girl asked you that yesterday.
Yeah.
And you gave a great response.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about her leaving because I know that she ain't.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
and here's another thing. A lot of it sounds real good. A lot of men are not worried about the woman leaving. You know what I'm saying? It's the fact that men don't want to be destroyed by government dad. It ain't the fact that he's scared that she's going to leave. It's just a chance that she will leave, and she will leave with everything that he brought to the table. Because we know how this system does when protecting these women. You know, protect our women. Let's continue.
And I'll close with this story. One of our friends, he's a multimillionaire, super successful guy, probably dating one of the hottest chicks in the world. And I always ask him, I was like, bro, man, like, what is that like? Because, you know, like, not saying these guys are in their DMs anymore, but you have guys like Bieber. You know what I mean? You have guys like billionaires, like real billionaires. You know, we got the guys like Drake. Like, people talk about what if my girl sees Drake. Nah, his girl is Drake is in. She shows him the DMs, and then he's like, "But I'm not afraid." And I was like, "Why is that so?" And he's like, "One, because if she leaves me, she loses. Facts. She loses, and not only that, if she leaves me, I got 50 more waiting to take her spot. Yep." You know what I mean? Yep. And so I think Myron's 100% right. If you're gonna get married, be wise about it. You know, I highly advise marriage contracts where you can be able to have things where you understand that if you want to leave, you leave with nothing. You know, you have to be able to be wise as a man if you're gonna engage in that and protect yourself and protect your children. The idea, also make it clear that, hey, if you want to leave, you can't take no kids. You legally have to sign to that.
Let me ask y'all a question. What does that sound like? Yes, he said marriage contract, but I told y'all prenup is a marriage contract. What does that sound like he just said? I want to know. I'm stupid. What did he just say? He just said the shit that Coach say. He said the shit that I say. He said the shit a lot of red pill or frigid lifestyle or MGTOW brothers say if you decide to get married. What does that sound like he just said to do? What does it sound like he said to do? I want to know because I'm a dumb nigga off Cottage Grove. What does it sound like he said to do, y'all? I'm gonna let y'all hear it again. What he said. What does it sound like he said to do? Sound like some type of prenup to me, don't it? Sound like a prenup to me. Shout out to Mr. DG456 for the $10 donation. He says, has Hafeez been through the family court system? No, he ain't got no kids. He's using pre-marriage protocols like prenuptial agreements, but has he been in front of a judge trying to use these things? Coach Greg Adams has the real experience. Shout out to my brother. Let's hear that again. Right, thank you. He's saying the same shit that Coach saying. This was last year, y'all. I told you it was all good just a year ago. But now all of a sudden I didn't do a prenup. We did something like a marriage contract. We talked about how much sex and all this shit and all that bullshit. That's what I say, man. Let me let Denzel speak on behalf of Malcolm X, y'all. One more time.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
Let's hear that again.
Engage in that and protect yourself and
protect yourself. Yeah.
Because if she leaves me, she loses. Facts. She loses. And not only that, if she leaves me, I got 50 more waiting to take her spot. Yep. You know what I mean? Yep. And so I think Myron's 100% right. If you're gonna get married, be wise about it. You know, I highly advise marriage contracts where you can be able to have things where you understand that if you want to leave, you leave with nothing.
If you want to leave, you leave with nothing. That's what a prenup do in this motherfucker.
Biatch.
You come in, what you bring to the table. You leave out what you brought to the table. Whatever we build together, we can go half on that, what we do together. But what I bring to the table is mine, and what you bring to the table is yours. What we build together, we split. But yet, he say that he didn't do a prenup. He ain't for a prenup. He did it differently. He did a marriage contract. Look up the definition of a prenup, or type in, is a prenup a marriage contract? He's going to tell you it's a marriage contract. I want you to understand that. Now, I want you to understand this also. That makes me go back and think that, well, he said this last year, but he ain't do it when he got married to the wife. And I seen the young lady, she very nice looking, she mixed. Maybe she just flat out said that I'm not signing no fucking prenup, and he said, fuck it. I'll marry you anyway.
Here I come to save the day.
Or maybe since he said that his family talked to her family, maybe her family said, hell no. And he said, fuck it. I'm going to marry her anyway.
Keep on using me until you use me up.
I'm just saying why this year, new year, that you say, I ain't with the prenup, fuck a prenup, no, that shit, when you just said it a year ago. I'm just asking the question. So y'all motherfuckers can't be on here saying you red pill, but then you diss red pill and say fuck red pill because you got some woman on the side of your arm now. You could just say, hey y'all, you know what? I would respect. Yeah, you're right. She got a great ass. I could respect a man or somebody that used to holler red pill or Frisian lifestyle, MGTOW, whatever you choose. I respect you more if you come out and say, you know what, guys, I know I used to tell y'all don't get married and all this, but you know what? I believe I found the right one, and I have to apologize for, telling you this because now I have to backtrack what I'm saying because I got me a good wife and I'm married and I did not do a prenup. Now, I would call you a dumb motherfucker. I'll call you a stupid, but I respect the fact that you own up to, you know what I'm saying, your flip. But when you sit back and you say some shit like this a year ago saying that, hey, protect yourself, and if you don't like what I say and what I wrote down, get the fuck on, and you're going to come with this and you're going to leave with that. But then a year later, you flip the script. I have to let Denzel speak on behalf of Malcolm X one more again. I don't know who she is.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
So it seems to me that, again, like I tell you about these baby mama terrorists and these symbol forces, they will make enough money. I'm just talking about all these YouTube shit. They'll make enough money till they get to where they at. And then all of a sudden they want to come out with their true self on what they really believe in, what they really want to talk about, what they really want to be on. Derrick Jackson's a prime example. He taking for these baby mama tears all the time, say you ain't got to lose weight. You ain't got to do this. You ain't got to do that. You could come with nothing. But at the same time, he run around pumping and dumping all these hoes. But he tickling their chins on the front lines, behind the scenes, treat them like hoes, like shit. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I say, again, it was all good just a week ago. But in this case, it was all good but a year ago.
Biatch!
So that makes you wonder, well, did somebody tell him, man, I ain't doing no prenup, motherfucker. You want to marry me? You're going to marry me just like this. And he, and he was like, shit, fuck it.
If you want to leave, you leave with nothing. You have to be able to be wise as a man if you're going to engage in that and protect yourself and protect also your children. The idea, also make it clear that, hey, if you want to leave, you can't take no kids. You legally have to sign to that. And so to me, my
legally have to sign that. Yes, legally have to sign that agreement, that prenup. Yes. You come in with nothing, you leave with nothing. You ain't right. Protect yourself. What happened? I want to know.
Belief is, as a man, when you build your kingdom, she has to join your program. It's my rules.
Yep.
If you don't sign this deal, Chris will.
Yep.
If you do not sign this deal, Chris will. Somebody else will. It's either sign here or not, or nothing. Who was that? Steven Jackson said he was gonna get married, but when he gave her the contract before they walked down the aisle, and she said she wasn't gonna sign it. Guess what he said? He said, "Shit," and he ain't marry a funky ass. He did not marry her and told y'all she didn't want to sign a prenup. Don't marry her. But you heard what he said? His kingdom, his house, and if you don't want to abide by my rules, then get the fuck on. Yep. So now, a year later, he say, "No, I don't do prenup. I just agree that we're gonna have sex every 2 days, and we're gonna have a couple of kids, and if you don't give me the sex no more and the kids, then we can opt out the motherfucker."
You have to be able to be wise as a man if you're going to engage in that and protect yourself and protect also your children. The idea, also make it clear that, hey, If you want to leave, you can't take no kids. You legally have to sign to that. And so to me, my belief is, as a man, when you build your kingdom, she has to join your program. It's my rules.
Yep.
If you don't sign this deal, Chris will.
Yeah.
If you won't sign this deal, Myron will. Like, so the idea is, as a man, you have to be that kind of individual, and you set the relationship on your terms.
Exactly,
I think so many guys, you know, because I read a lot of the literature and I read a lot of the discussions, they hate the laws, and the laws are horrible. They hate the rules.
Let's hear that part again, what he just said, though.
Understand that if you want to leave, you leave with nothing. You know, you have to be able to be wise as a man if you're going to engage in that and protect yourself and protect also your children. The idea, also make it clear that, hey, if you want to leave, you can't take no kids. You legally have to sign to that.
You legally have to sign for that. You legally have to sign for that. And ain't nothing wrong with that. But that ain't what he said this year. He said do a marriage contract. And again, a prenup is a marriage contract. What happened? I want to know.
And so to me, my belief is, as a man, when you build your kingdom, she has to join your program. It's my rules.
Yep.
If you don't sign this deal, Chris will.
Yeah.
If you won't sign this deal, Myron will. Like, so the idea is, as a man, you have to be that kind of individual, and you set the relationship on your terms. I think so many guys, you know, because I read a lot of the.
He said, set the relationship on your terms. Ain't that what a prenup is? Setting the shit on your terms. Oh man. Ain't that what a prenup is, guys? To set the shit on your motherfucking terms. And yes, John Cena did not marry one of them Bella twins because she wouldn't sign the prenup. So he said what everybody else said. How that man go? Shit. Yeah. Yeah.
Literature and I read a lot of the discussions. They hate the laws, and the laws are horrible. They hate the rules. So I believe every man, you better make your rules.
Yeah,
you have your lawyers, you have your contracts, you have these things signed in paper. You make your rules. And if she,
did you hear what the fuck he said? Have your lawyer, have your contract, have your rule. This right here made me want to just drop the mic and say, end this shit, because ain't nothing else to be said. Except this, y'all. Except this.
You've been had.
Yeah.
You've been took.
Yeah.
You've been hoodwinked.
Yeah.
Bamboozled.
Yeah.
Led astray.
Yeah.
Run on muck.
That it make real talk. This right here made me want to just end this motherfucking show. It made me want to end this motherfucking show and say I'm done with it. Ain't nothing else to be said. But we're not. Let's say that again. Your lawyers, your contract, your agreement, you gonna get down and lay down. You don't get down and lay down, we ain't getting married. Fuck you. And ain't nothing wrong with that. But what happened in 2022? What happened? What happened?
people talk about what if my girl sees Drake. Nah, his girl is right. If you're gonna get married, be wise about it. You know, I highly advise marriage contracts where you can be able to have things where you understand that if you want to leave, you leave with nothing. You know, you have to be able to be wise as a man if you're going to engage in that and protect yourself and protect your children. The idea, also make it clear that, hey, if you want to leave, you can't take no kids. You legally have to sign to that. And so to me, my belief is, as a man, when you build your kingdom, she has to join your program. It's my rules.
Yep.
If you don't sign this deal, Chris will.
Yeah.
If you won't sign this deal, Myron will. Like, so the idea is, as a man, you have to be that kind of individual, and you set the relationship on your terms. I think so many guys, you know, because I read a lot of the literature and I read a lot of the discussions, they hate the laws, and the laws are horrible. They hate the rules. So I believe every man, you better make your rules.
Yeah,
you have your lawyers, you have your contracts, you have these things signed in paper. You make your rules. And if she does not sign up, if she does not agree to every last law of the land, she is banished from the kingdom.
Exactly.
Straight up. And so to me, that's the uniqueness when I believe in the dating market, is that you only settle down when you find a woman who's willing to submit to you in every single way, and she's willing, not argue. I'm not arguing with you back and forth, but she's willing, eager, and passionate, and desires you. Then you can go
everything
ahead.
else.
That's what happened. Don't tell me the 3 eyes was involved.
I can fuck, I can suck, I can split a dick.
What the fuck happened? Now y'all heard it for your goddamn selves. Like I say, hey man, I don't make shit up. I don't be trying to, do voiceovers and shit like that. You heard it from the horse's mouth. Let's get back to the regular scheduled program of 2022. One more time for y'all niggas.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
Ooh, I want to know what changed that whole mind frame to like, shit, you gonna dance to my music to shit, I don't need no prenup, shit, I'm going by the marriage contract and go through faith.
It's really about the families agreeing to this and the families being aware of expectations on both sides. So therefore, there's family accountability, because what's problem in the West is there's no accountability. Like you say, if the wife...
we agree mostly on all of these things. You understand what's going on here. When you're talking about these marriages and business contracts and family, this is where we agree. And unfortunately, we get into the loss into the romance and the feelings part of it, which feelings do change, right? 100%. Your feelings changed about me about a minute ago. People change, and thus,
life changes, right?
Thus, though, the marriage contract doesn't change with the state. So you have to have those things understood and be in the proper position.
Okay, so let me just paint a picture here. So I was married very briefly, okay?
Divorced?
Divorced.
Uh-oh.
But I...
Shout out to Pan-African black man going his own way for the $2. And they said, please call or a verdict. Oh, he guilty, fam. He guilty to the T. Fraud. 360 windmill degree, fake like these other niggas, these black manosphere, you flip-flopping red pill motherfuckers. Guilty 100%, man. Guilty 100%, man. This wasn't about to see was he guilty or not. This to show y'all that this dude flipped the script. And I seen people talk about, shout out to MTR, shout out to Bernard Riley, and I believe other people talked about it, you know what I'm saying? But I want you to understand that it was all good just a year ago. It was all good just a year ago. It ain't the same. Now, don't get me wrong. People change, things change, but I would respect you more if you say, look, hey man, I told y'all, I would red pill and all this, but you know what? I found me a good woman. I did a arranged marriage and shit, and we came to agreement. Hey man, I'm not gonna be talking about all, about these kinds of stuff like that, because I believe faith is the way to go. But when you just come out and just flip the script like that, I have a problem with that. Now he's talking about he was married, he had a prenup and shit, but I'm gonna skip that because I'm not even react to the rest of this shit. I'm gonna get the part when he talked that smart shit with Coach, and then I'm getting the fuck out of here. Ain't nothing else to be said with this shit. I'm serious. Ain't nothing else to be said with this. What he's saying now ain't what he said last year.
Be so robotic and so structured that you can't have any feelings and emotion. Yeah. So I'm trying to kind of grapple this.
Can I add something to this?
Go.
See, this is the thing that experience offers that sometimes experience doesn't. So he talked about experience and, being open-minded to experiences, but a guy who has significant investment experiences has bumped their head as well. Yeah. They wouldn't be called bitter. They would be called experience, right? But in this situation, what people don't know what's behind that curtain when you go into court and the love is lost. And also the agreements aren't being upheld with the marriage contract are piranhas, sharks. They typically come in the form of lawyers, judges, and people in that industry who make a lot of money. With that being said, once you go in that room, I'm one of the only people that have been in those rooms. It's a dark place. We call it the belly of the beast. And until you've been there, you really haven't experienced a marriage. Now, let me just say this. You mentioned the divorce. Hold on for a second. Hold on for a second.
Courtroom? You haven't been to a marriage?
Let me explain why. Let me explain why. You mentioned the 50%, 63%, 70%. But do you know that these don't include the people who have already talked to divorce attorneys? See, many of those 50%, there's an additional percentage of people who haven't even talked to a lawyer, or I'm sorry, that have talked to a lawyer. And they've gone, okay, I'll stay, baby. It's cheaper to keep her. Happy wife, happy life. Yeah. I'll just accept what it is. I'll stay for the kids. I don't want to lose the house. So it's more than 50%.
So
and
you're saying tack on a couple extra percentage
points. We need to tack on at least 25 extra percent, because there are some people who have visited it, and many people reconciled. So it's bigger than that. And when I add on those percentages, it adds some perspective.
Yeah.
Oh shit, there is more than 50%. These are 50% who legally got divorced. We're adding on the people who said, oh shit, I'll just go on to stay.
What we call thinking about it.
Yeah,
divorce.
man, I'll think about it. Or the person brought it up. If you don't do this, I'm divorcing.
Ali, let me get your flip it on us, right? Because we established the fact that 70 to 80% of marriages, relationships, the woman initiates a divorce or a breakup. But oftentimes, sometimes a man will initiate a breakup.
True.
From your perspective, what are the top 3 reasons men end a relationship with their women?
I would say number one, lack of respect. So that goes to, like I said, men want to feel loved, but oftentimes are the giver of love, and nobody really not a lot of people focus on men receiving. So if there's a lack of respect, he may pull the trigger on that one if it feels like he's not going to lose his children, right? So that would be reason number one. I would say lack of intimacy. People can say sex, but she can lie there like a Carl's Jr. star, and he can pump her 5 strokes. It don't mean that he got sex from her. He's out, you know what I mean? Most of the prostitution-oriented sex is in marriage. But with that being said, if he does get a couple of pity duty sexes out of his wife, doesn't mean he got anything.
So you're saying that there's a difference between sex and intimacy.
Absolutely. Intimacy. I mean, you know, guys are looking for intimacy, and sometimes it's better to pay somebody for some intimacy than to get it from your own wife. A lot of marriages are going on right now because he's paying for intimacy somewhere else. But with that being said, if he's not getting intimacy and respect from his wife, he gonna leave if it doesn't hurt him financially.
Got it. And then third,
I would say
you said respect, sex / intimacy.
Yeah, I would say obviously then the kids. I mean, there's going to be something associated with the kids. If he knows he can keep a relationship with his children, aka she screwed up and he can get up out of there, and he can use that as leverage to make sure he doesn't lose time with his kids, then he'll pull the trigger.
But I want you to understand, some men will rather opt out. You can keep the house, the car. You can take child support. You can take some spouse support. I don't give a fuck no more. See, because if that's the case, I would have stayed. You know what I'm saying? I would have stayed. I'm like, man, fuck this. She can have it all. But I did fight for my kids. You know what I'm saying? That's when I realized reality is unjust system. You know what I mean? They don't give a fuck about you being in no relationship for 11 years. They don't give a fuck about you playing the kids. They don't give a fuck about you staying 20 minutes away. They don't give a fuck because they figure to get more beneficial every other weekend. They don't give a fuck about your receipts. Hearsay is allowed in court. They don't give a fuck about none of that shit. So yeah, you got some dudes that say, fuck it, I'll take an L. You could have this alimony, you can get some money. I'd rather have a peace of mind. I told y'all, peace of mind is gold. If you don't have no peace, you have none at all. Yes.
Yeah. Got it. Okay. Go ahead, Hafeez.
Yeah. I want to take a little differently because there's nothing that I'm going to add to it that Coach Greg Adams hasn't shared. I think I agree with the third one may hit or miss. But here's the nuance I think is lacking in the conversation, especially to the young guys who kind of consume this kind of content. There's always truths in what people say. Like you say a lot of things that are true, but if you end the sentence there, it's not going to benefit people's lives. And so to me, I think one of the fundamental challenges is when you come at things from a perspective of things are going to fail, when you come at things from a perspective as worst case scenario, like, so this is interesting. I won't get too lost in the sauce, but this interesting TV show where this guy he spent an hour watching the worst events in humanity, the worst murders, the worst rapes, the worst thefts. He saw the worst in humanity for an hour. After watching the worst in humanity for an hour, how do you think he felt about humans, Adam?
Yeah, obviously he was just
probably felt like crap. He probably felt really bad. So what happens so often in the marriage conversation, like I said, it's balance. Too many guys in the comments in this red pill world, they are consumed with the worst case scenario. And
there we go with the shame tactics. So you tell me that every red pill just listen to quote unquote just negativity. That's not true. There's so many red pill dudes that listen to Kevin Samuels, and Kevin Samuels was an advocate for getting married. You know, I ain't saying that's not a few guys that say I only want to listen to Fred and Lifestyle or MGTOW or you know, fuck child or whatever. But what I'm saying is most men, if you wise, you're gonna go into different lanes to get a perspective from different people. Now, if you out here talking that sympathy force shit, no, they ain't gonna talk to you. They not gonna be entertained by you. You know what I'm saying? I don't teach to live a fragrant lifestyle. So, but people still come talk to me because I talk about this system and how it's gender bias and masculinity and shit like that. You know what I mean? So that's not true. That's not true. But let's continue.
Perspective of things are going to fail. When you come at things from a perspective as worst case scenario, like, so this is interesting. I won't get too lost in the sauce, but this is interesting TV show where this guy he spent an hour watching the worst case scenario, and there's enough stories like that for days. He can spend 48 hours telling us every single worst case scenario, and he's only touching the tip of the iceberg of all the stories he's heard. There's enough information about the worst case scenario, about marriage, about divorce. Oh, she left me, and there's enough of that in this world. And so my biggest thing is that how does that make society better? Especially, I'm passionate about it, going back to like Black community. The biggest issue that's plaguing the Black community, when I ask Candace Owens on the right, if you can ask Dr. Eric Dice on the left, they'll tell you it's fatherlessness.
No shit. We all agree that the way this world is going on, especially the United States of America, and the community being what it is, our society is being for what it is, our weak ass children and emotional ass sons and shit like that, is because of what? Lack of fathers. I talk about that all the time. Why are there lack of fathers? Well, a lot of different factors. This unjust system who give 85% custody to these baby mama terrorists. There's no fault divorce. She get a divorce and still get primary custody or sole custody of our children. These Alwala Melnicias rather have welfare and Section 8 and link cards and voucher than have a man in the household. This feminist ideology, I'm strong and independent. It's a lot of different factors. It ain't fatherlessness because father didn't want to be a father. Now, I ain't talking about the 15 to 20% of men who didn't want to be fathers because you met him on eBay and you thought you could change him to be a high-value man and shit. No, we talking about fathers that wanted to be fathers, that planned them kids or accepted that they was going to be a father and wanted to be there. So let's stop the cap. The fatherlessness comes from alienation. It comes from family court with this primary custody. 14.1% of Black males get custody of our children. Y'all already know this, or I don't need to repeat myself. So the problem is the society, this system, this machine that's designed to give them government daddy as a new father, the new lead, the new overseer of the house and shit like that. See, of course, fatherlessness is the problem, but why is it so much fatherlessness? I talk about that all the time. So when people just come out and say it's like a father's is the reason, but why? What's the reason? Let's go to the past. Let's go to the stats. Let's go to what's been going on for all these years that they won't talk about. They won't talk about these fathers committing suicide because of alienation and child support. They won't talk about how this court system is rigged or how they automatically give the father every other weekend and shit like that. They're not going to talk about that. But they're going to blame you men because you didn't fight hard enough and you didn't get custody of our sons or our daughters. You should have clicked your heels 3 times and went back to court and fought again. I'm just saying. Shout out to Dion for the $2 donation. Say insurance for a worst case scenario is wise. Shout out to you, my brother. Shout out to Elwood for the $5 donation. He said, when everyone starts swimming upstream, here these niggas go trying to convince everyone to go back downstream. So let's start with this bullshit. And it's definitely gender bias when it comes to fathers being fathers. Masculinity is a sin now. Being a masculine male or heterosexual male is a sin now. So miss me with the bullshit about, well, it's fatherlessness. But let's talk about why. You know what I mean? You can't make this shit up. This is all good just a year ago.
Broken families, not enough husbands and wives coming together, raising families. That's what's destroying the Black community.
But again, why? Kevin Samuels talked about it. Dennis Sperling, I talked about it. Why? Again, this system these feminists, these black watermelon niches, baby mama terrorists. Yeah, this system is designed to keep fathers out the home. You want to keep this welfare and Section 8 shit like that? Don't have that husband or that man in the household. Now they don't have to tell them that because they say they're strong and independent. They don't need no man. And they don't give a fuck about the children needing a man, which is the father, because as long as they got me, we good. Kids good, we good. We don't need him. Heard it plenty of times. But see, they ain't gonna talk about that. They're just gonna say how the black community is what it is. They won't call out that these baby mama tears, our malnutrition are the reason why the generational curse still exists and why it started. So that's why I say, when people talk like that, man, that's why I say,
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
And yes, whose fault is it, y'all? And it's always gonna be.
It's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault.
Well, my parents been married for over 30 years, so I don't see how the fuck you can't do the shit. My parents been married for 42 years, motherfucker. And I still didn't have that luxury. So get the fuck out of here. Let's continue.
That's what I'm passionate about. And so to me, the biggest thing is how is simply spending all day, keyword all day, majority of my day, hearing about the worst case scenario about marriage and divorce and alimony and getting screwed over. How is that going to help black men become better fathers? How is that going to help them become better husbands? How is that going to equip them with the tools needed to build healthy families and to create legacies of change? And so to me, that's one of the biggest reasons why some of the conversation to me is just boring.
And this is why, y'all, I tell y'all, change the laws in your mind and keep your veins on ice cold, because you're going to have some motherfucker come out with some shame tactic to try to down you for what you believe in and how you move, how you call out shit, how you expose the truth. And they will still say it's all your motherfucking fault just because you was one of them beta male coon niggas.
It's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault.
It's like, yo, like, okay, you have data, and then even some of the data is like 50% of marriages end in divorce. Is like, have we not looked up some of the most recent data? It's just like,
well, see, here's the thing. You go watch his video where he talked about he got married and he said that the 50% of divorce is a myth, and he's trying to say, I like Glenn. I speed watched. I didn't watch the whole thing, but he said that the divorce rate is not as high as it was. Let me ask y'all a question, because I'm a dumb nigga out of Cottage Grove. Why, if the divorce rates are lower than what it was, why is that, y'all? Let's take a guess. Why is the divorce rates lower than what it was? I want to know why. I want to know why is the divorce rate lower? Why? I want to know. I want to see if y'all know, because I'm stupid. Do y'all know why? If it's true that the divorce rate is not high as it was and all that shit, I want to know why. I want to see if y'all know. Take a guess why. Yep. Byron, nobody's marriage. Nobody getting married. Arthur Will, shout out to Arthur Will. Low marriage rates. Shout out to Robe. The marriage rate is lower. Shout out to Kevin. People are not getting married. Well, we ain't gonna say people, men are not getting married. These black watermelon niches can't get married because nobody want to marry asses. That's why. So if you want to use that bullshit, talking about some, oh, well, the divorce rate ain't what it was and it's a myth, that's because motherfuckers ain't getting married no more. Because when it comes to black men, what? 58% of black men are childless and unmarried? Let me let Denzel speak on behalf of Malcolm X.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
See, I want y'all to understand this. Hey, man, when Kevin, Sam, and everybody started doing the dapper, the suit thing, I showed y'all a long time ago. I was wearing suits when I was a kid. I was wearing suits in my 20s. I was wearing suits in my 30s. I started wearing suits because I'm 43 years old and I don't need to wear a suit. Now, it's cool to wear a suit. If that's your business, that's your career. But for what I do, I can't wear a suit because I'll be dirty as fuck. I'm sleeping on the couch every day. But don't think because somebody ain't wearing a suit, it's a dumb motherfucker because I'm wearing a fuck child's hat. I want you to understand the reason why divorce rates might be lower because, one, motherfuckers ain't getting married. You know why they not getting married? Yeah, less marriages. Shout out to everybody that said it. And the reason why is less marriages, majority of the people that's not getting married because they don't want to get caught up twice with this unjust system, family court, spouse support, alimony, and shit like that. So again, you talking a good game, but at the same time, you know, it sounds good, but it's really good to be a free thinker. It really feels good, man, to be a free thinker. Because if you're not a free thinker, you're gonna say, you know what? Let me look at the stats. He right. It is lower. He is right. These red pill motherfuckers just hating.
Biatch.
These motherfuckers just lying.
Biatch.
These motherfuckers got mama issues.
Biatch.
But that's why I say,
shut your goddamn ass up.
It's more to it. Let's continue, man. Let's continue. I'm finna get the fuck out of the couch, man.
Everything is biased, but it's biased to not lead to long-term success. And if we're honest about long-term success, a lot of this information is not it.
I got a question for you. Do you have car insurance?
100%. No,
all right. Do you have homeowners insurance?
100%.
Do you have life insurance?
100%.
Do you have medical insurance?
100%.
Did you get tired of your insurance agent talking about the possibilities of you losing your life and being rewarded? Hold on for a second.
Yes,
I know, but don't be a but person. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. You have insurances, although it's a very uncomfortable situation, and life insurance people who sell it tend to be scumbags. They tend to be looked at as scumbags. Like, I don't want to have this conversation about me dying, but you surely will die. So you better have the conversation. The reality is, yes, it's a very tough conversation. I have to spend a lot of time talking about it. It's very difficult. However, there needs to be some insurance. And
exactly. So you got car insurance, you got life insurance, you got renters insurance, you got landlord's insurance, you have a will. That's an insurance to make sure that things are guaranteed to be done for your wishes. So if you can get you a life insurance, you get homeowners insurance, you got landlord's insurance, car insurance, and all this shit, why can't I have a marriage insurance to make sure that I don't get fucked over by this unjust system and this wife that potentially could turn into a baby mama terrorist? That's like telling somebody, hey, you married, you got a family, everything's good, y'all don't have no problems, but you don't need no will. You know why? Because your family gonna take care of whatever need to get done. You can't trust that. People change when people die. Instead of you giving the money to all three of your children, you got one of the kids gonna try to keep all the motherfucking money. We talk about that all the time. So again, yeah, mic drop, bro. I'm not staying on here too long, man. After this, I told you, man. I just want you to hear how Coach asked that legitimate question, and he was like, yes, yes, yes. Okay, then we need to have insurance to make sure that we're covered if some bullshit happened down the line. Of course, you're not hoping for it, you're not expecting it, you're not wishing for it, but it's better to be safe than sorry. And I'm gonna tell you this, real good. You want to get married and shit like that, that's up to you. Check this out. Either you're gonna sign the contract that you create, or you gonna sign a contract that the state create. And I guarantee you sign that contract that the state create, if you're going through a divorce, you ain't gonna have shit. So it's gonna be one contract you're gonna sign. It's one or the other. Because if you go through that divorce, you sign that contract with the state, you ain't gonna like it. Shout out to the Conscious by Nature podcast for the 499. He said, this dude faking fraud, he gonna find out what time it is real quick. Respect to you, Mr. Palmer, for this mic drop. Shout out to you, my brother. I ain't gonna lie. I hope his marriage lasts forever. I don't want to see nobody get divorced and all that shit. Be another statistic and shit like that. But at the same time, you can't talk this bullshit and then flip the script from a year ago. I can't honor that. I can't honor that. So Coach is right with this insurance shit. Make sure you're covered so you don't lose. Because if you don't have insurance in your car, you get into a car accident, the shit total, guess what? You got to pay you a new car. You got to pay out of pocket. You still got to pay the note on the car because you ain't had no insurance. It's still your responsibility to pay for that motherfucker. So yes, it's the same thing. It's different from quitting your job and venture off to a business, because that's on you, the individual, not you and somebody else that you decide to work together as one. Let's continue.
There's no insurance, and so we must talk about
Well, I don't want to put words in Hafeez's mouth. I'm gonna let you answer this,
Yeah,
but here's how I'm interpreting this. And believe me, I've made millions of dollars in the insurance world. All right, so I'm good.
We love
I'm
insurance
good on
over
that.
here. Exactly.
Yeah. Ironically, I don't even sell insurance. I buy insurance off of people because they're sick of paying for their insurance. That's another conversation.
Because many times they don't get anything from the insurance that they pay, right? But I don't want to put you out of business.
No,
I love insurance over here.
Life's good. You're not going to change
good.
anything.
Exactly.
But here's my point, and this is kind of Hafeez's point, is you're talking about you're going to die, you're getting in a car accident, your house is going to flood, you're going to flood. And he's like, stop talking about the negative shit. What Hafeez is saying, and I'll let you kind of go from here, is, well, let's talk about what happens if that doesn't happen. Let's hear some positive stories.
Well, I mean, I get what he's saying with that, but that's why you go to other platforms. You go to other lanes. You watch other people. Because I'm not going to talk about how good it can be. I'm talking about this could happen to you if you do this. That's why you have a brain. That's why you have an open mind. That's why you go down different lanes and different paths to see what's good over here and over there. I ain't doing no panel today because I got to get on the couch. I got to get up early in the morning shit and do what I do best, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Understand that this is why you have a brain. This is why you have options. Don't they say as a high value man, you have options? You have options to go to different avenues to see what's going on. Okay, here's this the negative, or this will go fuck you over. You go to these platforms to talk about the good things of marriage and the good things of family and the good things of you know what I'm saying, that you want to use for family court. Good luck on that one. Good luck on that one. I'm just saying. So just because I don't talk about the good things and this and the good thing and that, you know what I'm saying? That's like trying to tell me how I should run my motherfucking platform. You know how these baby mama tales come in here and say, well, you need to talk about the good things that happen. I ain't finna talk about the good things because most of the good things is non-existent because that's how fucked up it is when it's unjust ass system. But let's continue.
Let's hear about the lovely home we're going to build, the amazing car we're going to drive in, the fact that my house isn't going to get blown away in a hurricane. And I understand what you're saying is like, yeah, brother, you can have the most beautiful house, you can have the most beautiful car, you can have the most beautiful life, but you do need some protection.
Just be fair.
So it's almost like a both. You need both.
But just to be fair, when two people enter into that agreement, that's what they talk about. They don't sit together talking about, hey, when we get divorced, and they sit to talk about those things. So the conversation is being had, but it's almost between those two people. But when divorce happens, it happens in the court of public opinion, and it happens in the public court.
Yeah. So you asked me a question. That's why I was responding, because you asked me. I was going to respond to the question, but it is what it is. So remember, this is how you
see, smart ass. See, you got to be smart ass because you could have answered the question as soon as he got done. So yeah, when you try to answer, he wasn't done talking. Granted, when he got done talking, then you could have just answered the question. But you did that baby mama Terry shit. Let's hear that again. Email that to me, all the way. I ain't know nothing about it. Email it to me because I don't really be on TikTok like that. I got one, but I don't be on that since they took away my 50,000 subscribers or followers on that motherfucker unjustly. So let's hear that again.
Life, but you do need some protection.
Just be fair.
So it's almost like a both.
Hey, when we get divorced, and they sit to talk about those things. So the conversation is being had, but it's almost between those two people. But when divorce happens, it happens in the court of public opinion, and it happens in the public court.
Yeah. So you asked me a question. That's why I was responding, because you asked me. I was going to respond to the question, but it is what it is. So remember, this is how you know, Adam. This is a true test. Ali, if you want a true test to how someone views the world, see how balanced they are. Right? So like, let's see somebody politically. The best people politically are people like Adam. They can go hard on the right and go hard on the left. They can see the good in the right. They can see the good in the left. They have a balanced perspective of both sides. When someone's only going hard here 24/7, you notice a little bit of offness. Like when my biggest thing is, I said balance. I didn't say far west emotional. I didn't say far east logical. I said balance.
Correct.
My point is that if you're trying to tell somebody about buying a house, use a house example. Let's stay with the house example. If you're going to sell somebody a house, because you know human beings need houses. Of course you're gonna add insurance to it, but this is how you're not gonna sell a house. Let me show you this beautiful house. Do you know if your house burns down and you're inside of it, you're gonna die? Do you know that there's all these electricity problems? You know when a hurricane comes, your house is gonna fall
you
down.
lose your commission if you sell it like that.
And if I'm trying to sell something to you and telling you every worst case scenario, hey Adam, come drive this Lamborghini. Do you know that Lamborghinis you can get in a crash, you can die?
So he's comparing what the fuck are like being a realtor telling you that you can your house can catch on fire through lightning and shit, or it could flood because it's hurricanes around here. Come on, man, you sound stupid. See, that's what I'm saying. You comparing some shit that don't have nothing to do with prenups and marriages and divorce and shit like that. Total different things. Shout out to Hologram for the $2 donation. Said the Oregon grinder always knows his monkey's moves. I want to give a shout out to my man Sir Tice in the motherfucking house. Shout out to him for the $25 cash app. Appreciate you, my brother. Tice in the house. Shout out to Deshaun Rose for the $5 cash app. He said, paying coat fees, your honor. Fuck child support. Cook. Shout out to you, my brother. Want to give a shout out to Shelby NYC for the $3 cash app. He said, keep telling me about the belly of the beast. Shout out to you, my brother. Appreciate you. Yeah. All right, I'll check you when I get off. I got you. I'm taking that shit as soon as I get off. Let's continue. I was gonna respond and answer a question, but fuck out of here.
Do you know if you drive this certain speed, you can
Wait a minute, hold on.
It's not either or.
I just noticed something. Coach, look at the camera.
Who's been in the worst divorce in human history, and then let the people hear both of the stories. And that's what I'm talking about. There's also good that happens. There's horrible, but there's good. Man doesn't share anything positive about Donald Trump.
I go past that motherfucker.
Come drive this Lamborghini. Do you know that Lamborghinis you can get in a crash, you can die?
Look at Coach. Look at Coach like, what the fuck? The fuck you talking? Look at Coach when he said that. Make that make sense. That don't make no sense. You compare talking about a Lamborghini. I'm looking at Pat African talking about DDDD. A Lamborghini. And you talking about, you could crash and die in a Lamborghini. You could crash in anything. What the fuck you talking about? Come on, man. Look at Coach. Listen, when he talking about that shit, she sounds stupid. Matter of fact, let me hold on.
You fucking income fucking poop.
Man.
And telling you every worst case scenario. Hey, Adam, come drive this Lamborghini. Do you know that Lamborghinis you can get in a crash, you can die? Do you know if you drive this certain speed, you can it's not either or, because this is what it blows my mind. I know how nihilistic these guys on the internet are, because they can't even tell the nuance. It's not either or, it's both.
Yeah.
I want you, please sit down with Coach and hear about the worst case scenario. Hear about how to protect yourself. Hear about the insurance. I want you to have that. But if all you're doing is watching him, I'm telling you, you're gonna be deceived, because you're all you're gonna be consumed.
It sounds like he on some throwing a nigga on the bus shit. You already said. I stopped it real quick. He sound like one of them politicians. He's in his feelings. He sound like somebody I know.
Because I didn't want none of this.
I know.
I didn't ask for none of this.
I understand.
I didn't ask for this.
Let's hear that again.
Stay with the house example. If you're gonna sell somebody a house,
let me go back.
Because drive this Lamborghini. Do you know that Lamborghinis you can get in a crash, you can die? Do you know if you drive this certain speed, you can it's not either or, because this is what it blows my mind. I know how nihilistic these guys on the internet are, because they can't even tell the nuance. It's not either or, it's both.
Yeah.
I want you, please sit down with Coach and hear about the worst case scenario. Hear about how to protect yourself. Hear about the insurance. I want you to have that. But if all you're doing is watching him, I'm telling you, you're gonna be deceived, because all you're gonna be consumed about is the worst case scenario and the big bad boogeyman, aka the state, aka your woman screwing you over. You got to hear the balance. You got to hear the best of stories. And I remember Patrick Bet David, shout out to PBD, said, I would love to hear do a debate On one end, people who've been married, happily married for 40 years, a beautiful marriage, and then the guy who's been in the worst divorce in human history. And then let the people hear both of the stories. And that's what I'm talking about. There's also good. There's also good that happens. There's horrible, but there's good. We need to share both stories. And my biggest problem is when we spend all day long, most of our time, because there's a profit model in it. And I shared to.
It's a profit model in it. A lot of nerve, man. A lot of nerve. A lot of these motherfuckers come with this profit model. Because if let's be real. Let's be real. If Coach was on this profit model, I ain't saying ain't nobody trying to be on YouTube for free. So don't believe that shit. Everybody trying to eat and get paid off what they love to do. But if Coach was all about his money, and if I was all about the money, you think he'll be talking about don't get married? He would tell you get married and believe all women. He'll tell you that women are not obligated to be submissive to you and all this bullshit. He'll tell you whatever the women need to hear to get them to come over there. So let's please stop the motherfucking cap. Because like I say, I can turn around and say ain't no such thing as a baby mama test. It's all y'all niggas' fault.
It's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault.
See, so if that's the case, it was just about the money. I'll tell you, all women are queens and they gods. And hey, the reason why y'all broke up because of you, even though she left you, was because of something you weren't doing, and it's cheaper to keep her and all that goof ass shit. Come on, man, stop the bullshit. But let's continue.
My guys in the Standard, the profit model in it. CNN doesn't share anything positive about Donald Trump. Why? Because you don't make money that way. If I'm doing content on internet, I don't make money talking about healthy marriages. Who wants to watch that crap? Know how to make money? Crazy, delusional women screwing men of their money. Clicks, views, CPM through the roof. I know how it works. I can show you for days. I can pull up my analytics. I know how all this stuff works. And so my biggest thing is that if we're going to have a conversation, we need to have a holistic conversation for the benefit of men. If we are saying that what's wrong in society is too many men being raised without their father, I want every man, even the nihilistic red pill dudes in the comments, I want every single man to have an ability to raise his son in his home. That's how I was raised. That's why I was made the man I am today. I had an amazing father who was able to raise me in his home. I want every man to raise his son in his home. And I want to give you every tool possible to be able to have a healthy marriage, to be able to be a father who's present. And so my biggest thing is all we're talking about what's wrong, especially in the Black community, all that's going to lead to is more single moms, more broken homes, and more of the same BS is going on today. And to me, I'm sick of it. I want to move forward in society.
So I really wish, instead of him just saying, to me, what he's trying to say is it's the men's fault on why these motherfuckers are single mothers and why the fathers is not in the picture. To me, it sounds like he's blaming the guys.
It's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault.
Remember I told y'all about the yeah, but rule. Yeah, but. Well, she's made me seeing my kids. I ain't seen my kids in this long, and the course ain't doing no better. Yeah, but. Here's the proof of me showing you, son, that that I've been fighting for you for years. I've been paying my child support. I've been trying to be that shit. Yeah, but. He's giving y'all the yeah, but moment. This is what happens when you run off your emotions and be a thinker and be a reactor instead of a thinker. This is what happens when you want to throw somebody slick slide under the bus on the low. You know what I'm saying? To me, he's blaming on the men who say they red pill. And I want y'all to understand this. And I said this before. Majority of these men who are red pill now, MGTOW, free agent lifestyle, they've been there and done that. Most of these brothers been there and done that. They was married, did it the right way. They had a relationship. They had kids with this person, and they got screwed under the bus to the point where he was homeless, sleeping on the couch like me, sleeping in cars, sleep in their mama's basement, had to move back with their mom and all that shit because they had to start over. And they saying, I don't want to relive that battle, that war again. So again, let's stop the cap. I'm not opening up a panel tonight. Let's stop the cap. Let's stop it. But that's what I'm getting from this. But continue on.
Is that essentially your biggest problem with the red pill community? Is that it's all negative? It's all insurance. It's all what could happen bad.
And they have to be real. there's an incentive structure for it. I shared some of these people these numbers. I'm gonna share some of these numbers with you.
They gotta be real. Huh. What did he say last year? Y'all heard what he said last year. You gotta be real. You gotta be real.
I did a video because it's so funny because the red pill community, those kind of guys, they're so fickle. And they love you when you bash women, but the moment you share any objectivity, showing both sides, now all of a sudden they're demonizing you, right? So it's very.
No, I ain't gonna say that. I mean, it might be some guys that say some shit like that, but I also gotta say, majority of the guys, when you flip and change up, just like you did, just like that. See, that's when it's the problem. You flip the script. Yeah, chameleon ease. Yeah, I agree.
Interesting that I do videos that are critical of modern men and modern women. I try to be as balanced as possible. I know for a fact my content will be weak if it's imbalanced. So I like to do as balanced as possible. I did a video a couple months ago called the why women today are not marriageable. I did that video.
And this is why I tell y'all, I don't just talk about these baby mama tears. I talk about these simple forces too. I talk about these panhandling pro whack niggas too. I talk about these slow tap niggas too. So yeah, I think you shouldn't just talk about, you know what I'm saying, just these baby mama tears, because they're not the only problem. You got people like this, you got people like these pro whacks, you got these slow taps, you got these government daddies and everybody else, these politicians. Yes, it's a lot of different factors. You know what I'm saying? But you say, well, talk about the positive and talk about the negative, but in our society, I always see is negative. Let's keep it real. That's why I say as men, we need to wash our hands and walk away so we can have some positivity. Live good, live on your own, change the laws of your mind, have peace. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue.
Talking about some of the principles that I believe are true, why women have issues, and we can go on that for days. That video did over 500,000 views in 2 weeks. I did another video called The Sad Reality of Beautiful Women, talking about how sometimes attractive women have an air of entitlement about themselves that makes them difficult in relationship. Another video, 500,000 views. The reality of the matter is, in that month alone, I told the guys in the Standard, I'm just being transparent and honest. With those two videos, and then Candace Owens coming on the podcast talking about the problems of modern women, we made $55,000 that month. $55,000 just doing a few videos. And I know almost everybody in the space, and everyone shows me their money.
Hold on, I'll let this play out. I'll let this play out for a second.
And I was making the least of what everybody else is making. But when I do the other content, Adam, the more balanced content, there's not clicks in it. There's not views in it.
What type of content?
Like let's say if I was do a video about, hey guys, here are signs, like let's say 5 things to pick in a wife. Those kind of guys don't want to hear that. They want to hear 5 things wrong with women today. That's what they want to hear. They want to hear more of the negative stuff. They want it reinforced, like CNN. Like CNN does not want to hear 5 things great about Donald Trump. Hell no. CNN don't want to hear that. Give me 5 things wrong with Trump. And so to me, when you're doing balanced content, even when you're doing male improvement stuff, because I think there's a difference between real male improvement, because it has to improve the lives of men. Fitness, emotional health, spiritual growth. When you're doing that don't get views. And views in my comments would always talk about this, that dang, the girl stuff gets 10x the views of the male improvement stuff.
I mean, here's the thing. I mean, I could talk about these baby mama tests and these simple forces, and yeah, I'll get more views and stuff like that. But if I decide to say, okay, I want to talk about what's going on with the law, for so to speak, when it comes to family court, a lot of times my views don't be as high as I talk about how these how I expose when these baby mama tests. That's just what it is. But I still talk about it because I'm passionate about, you know, exposing the truth and putting the truth out there. So if it give me less views, less donations, I'll take that L. You know what I'm saying? Coach don't just talk about free lifestyle. He got other platforms. He talk about sports. He talk about health, and he get less views. He got 2 platforms where it's jumping. The rest of them, they less views and stuff. He talk about health. He talk about fitness. He talk about sports and some other stuff. And I think he talk about finance. He don't get a lot of views like that because they want to hear him talk about the free lifestyle and talk about different scenarios and cases. That's just the way it is. But if you about, really about putting it out there, you don't care if this particular video is gonna be lowered and less views because what you're talking about. If you passionate, and that's me, you ain't worried about just trying to get the dollar amount every fucking time and all that shit. It is what it is. Shout out to Pan African Black Man going our way for the $100 donation. He said, Mr. Palmer, open up this topic, you deserve it. Here's the thing. I'm not gonna be able to open up the panel only because I gotta go to bed early. I got some shit to take care of tomorrow. But this is what I will do for you and everybody else. I agree. This should be talked about. So what I'll do, because we still got another 30 minutes to watch the rest of it. So this is what I'm gonna do, y'all. First, I'm gonna play Clifford Burns. I'm gonna play Clifford Burns because he donated a $100 donation. I appreciate it. And I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I see this is gonna have to be a part 2 to this motherfucker because it need to be talked about. Can't just skip over like I do on other shit. So let me let Clifford Burns speak his piece.
Christmas Eve, and they're calling my lawyer for 2 payments, telling him there's a warrant going out for his arrest. Where does he live? I got a fucking apartment in the post office box because I don't want people bothering me anymore.
So this is what I'm gonna do. Tomorrow, same time, we're gonna do a part 2 on this shit. Cause this is long. Cause I saw when I looked at MTI, shit like 4 or 5 hours. And unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to I won't be able to do it because I'll be up all night and I can't afford to do that today. Tomorrow, we're gonna continue where we left off, and we're gonna do a part 2 because it's not over with the shit he was saying, and it's not over with the shit you hear. I definitely want to open up the panel because I want to see what y'all perspective is, what y'all thoughts is. I want to know, what do y'all think about what you heard him say from last year to what it is today? Do you think it was somebody in his ear that motivated him to do the bait and switch? You tell me. Yeah, we're gonna do a part 2 because it can't just. I don't want to not do a panel and I'll talk about this shit. It deserves to be a panel. I'm just not gonna be able to do it because you know how we get on the panel. We be on this motherfucker for 4 hours. I ain't gonna be able to do it today. So I definitely want to do a panel. You know what I'm saying? Capri said part 2. MTR missed a lot of good points he could have brought up. Hey man, well, I mean, that's why I told you I will pause that motherfucker every 10 seconds if I see something that need to be told. A lot of people ain't gonna do that, and that's cool because who want to be online for 5-6 hours? Some people be on there for 10 hours. I can't do that, but I have to dissect this. But I agree with Pan African saying it do need a panel. So definitely tune in tomorrow, same time, and the video is gonna be 30 minutes. We'll be able to do that and still do an open panel. We need to talk about it, and it's important to understand that everybody is not for your best interest. Some people come in the game saying what they saying to get a come up, to get fame, get some bitches, to get some money, of course, and then flip the script when they get on top and come with their true self. Look at how these baby mama tears, they came in here talking about they support this, support that, and now they imitating Kevin Samuels, but then they say, well, I don't call out the women, but you say you support men. You can't make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. Again, shout out to Pan African. Yeah, we're gonna do that shit for tomorrow, bro. We're gonna open up the panel. I want to see what Mark got to say because he wanted to talk about it, and I know a lot of y'all want to speak y'all piece and speak y'all truth. I have no problem with that. Even Mark says, flip-flopping ass bitch. And I don't think Mark know anything about roommates or Hafeez. So yeah, we definitely gonna do a part 2. Now I gotta redo. Now I gotta either edit the thumbnail, redo the thumbnail. So now y'all got me doing some work for tomorrow. So, but it's all good. Understand that the purpose of going on these different platforms, not set. That's why. First of all, this is why I tell y'all that I'm nobody's leader. I told y'all this from the gate. I'm just a messenger. My job is to just spread a message, and hopefully, if anything happened to me, people continue to spread that message. When you the lead or the leader, usually cut the lead off. Everybody scattered like roaches. They don't want to take the flame. It's over. It's a done deal. That's why I say I'm a messenger. Now I had baby mama Ted sit back and say, "Oh, that's because you can't fit to be a lead." I just say,
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
People with a brain understand being a messenger. You can have like 1,000 messages, 100,000 messages. You got that one leader. He fall. They think it's the end of the world. Nah, one messenger fall. You got more messages that's still putting out that heat. You know what I'm saying? So on that note, man, I appreciate y'all to the fullest. Same time, 4:30, 4:35 Central Standard Time, 5:30 Eastern Time. We're going to cook and continue this shit. And I want to know, comment, let me know what y'all think. Let me know, do your mind change on listen to what this dude's talking about? Or do y'all think, hey, ain't nothing changed with dudes the same shit? Do you understand where you're coming from? What y'all think about Coach response? So far, what y'all saying? I like the fact that Coach was like, he turned to the camera. Shout out to Coach, man, for keeping his composure and not, being a reactor. You know what I mean? But it's shit funny, boy. But yeah, man, y'all be safe. Y'all be smooth. I'm Mr. Palmer, and this conversation is over. And that nigga guilty as fuck, man. Peace. Stop the motherfucking cap. Fuck the dumb shit. Just stop the motherfucking cap, man. We out of this motherfucker. Shit. Ooh, no. But you fucked up a good man.
Stop the cap. Bragging about you having a man, but you know you're lonely. Stop the cap. Saying that you got all the dough, but baby, you have no money. The cap. Saying that your hair on your head is real, but you know it's not. The cap. Wearing some mop that you got from the good old pawn shop. Run around saying baby daddy left, but you know it's not true. You don't do to live off the government, that's what you choose. You fucked up with a good man, you rather be ran through. You know you made a big mistake, leaving him for Section 8. Even though you're living off government daddy, making them your children new pappy. Claiming you're so strong and independent, you was just like them baby mama terrorist women. Fuck out of here. Even though you're living off government daddy, making them your children new pappy. Claiming you're so strong and independent, you was just like them baby mama terrorist women. Fuck out of here. One more time, come on. Even though you're living off government daddy, making them your children new pappy. Claiming you're so strong and independent, you was just like them baby mama terrorist women. Fuck out of here.
Man, these bitches got me fucked up, man. Baby mama tell her she needs some money. Man, you better go to Walmart.
Walmart is always hiring. 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 Wonder holler broke, bitch, you get some child support. Section 8 Obamacare, your ass better sell some dope. I ain't here to save your hope, I'm telling you in the dope. Better save your link card or a twerking liquor store. Better shake it for Hafeez, better shake it for Mr. Chan, better shake it for Tyrone, bitch, I don't give a damn. Matter of fact, only fans go find your ass a stamp. Who was shopping suckers? Bitch, I'm not your fucking man. It's not my fault you got 5 baby daddies with 4 fucking kids and no else to fucking live. Not my problem, better get your ass a job. Go to sleep in trailer parks, better go to fucking Walmart. Walmart is always hiring. 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 Walmart is always
liquor, but I hit it. Yeah, I'm sipping on some Henny, going in, aisle 6. Hey, let me get some Remy. I'ma have my dick in there before it even hit me. If you think I'm about to drop a dime, ho, you know you tripping, folks. Me the pussy free. For your man, you charge a fee. I'ma get up in the guts and you gon' try to have my seeds, and I'ma be a deadbeat. I ain't tell you had that kid. You know I was about to nut, but you kept on riding dick. When it comes to being freaky, bitch, you an all-star, but you always broke. Better holler at Walmart, so you better take direction. Oh, bitch, take this lesson. Now get up on your knees. I don't wanna hear no questions. Walmart, Walmart.
Walmart is always hiring.
Walmart, Walmart.
Walmart is always hiring.
Walmart, Walmart.
Walmart is always hiring. Walmart is always hiring. Walmart is always hiring.
Walmart, Walmart.
Walmart is always hiring.
Walmart, Walmart.
Walmart is always hiring.
Walmart, Walmart.
Walmart is always hiring. Walmart is always hiring. Walmart is always hiring.
You go fuck yourself, convict!